Happy Friday, everybody. Ben Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Kudos to all of you that are still hanging on every pitch of the San Diego Padres season, while my mind is fully in the city of Chicago at this point. We'll talk about that, certainly. Welcome in on a Friday indeed. Hope you're doing well. Let's get our heads right. No more guttural yells. We haven't yelled into these microphones in feels like months, but it's been a while. Padres not looking their sharpest right now. We'll talk about all of that and so much more on a Friar Friday. Got the skipper Mike Shildt coming up 9 a.m. But first, introduce the cast and crew here. I'm Woodsy. Got an echo. Damn it! Did I not mute myself again? Can you just do it for me every day?
Yeah, but yes.
Thank you. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, my Echo controller, the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. Again.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Saw you last
night. To my left. Look who decided to show up for work today. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. How are you?
I'm good. I'm surprised you didn't send me a text reminding me we had a show this morning.
Didn't know we needed to.
Then again, I'm not the only person that forgets things. We had a guttural yell to start the week on Monday.
I totally forgot that. Did we win? Did we win? Oh, yeah, we did.
Took 3 or 4 from the Rockies, and we did a guttural yell on Monday morning, the very last time the Padres had a series.
Monday morning feels like 3 weeks ago, to be honhonest with you. The end of the baseball season is a brutal scene.
It does stretch out. I want to start with an apology mostly to our Tier 1 Gold members,
right,
but also to you guys as well,
right,
for completely flaking and forgetting about last night's member stream. That's totally on me. I just completely forgot about it.
The old no call, no show. It's the worst bit of all time. The worst bit.
And yesterday we kind of confirmed that we were going to do it yesterday morning, and Paulie promoted it. So it was certainly in my mind. Yeah. But I made the mistake that you can't make anymore when you get into, middle age. I didn't put it into my phone.
Got to put it in your phone.
I put everything into my phone, and we were doing the show, and we said, are we doing it for sure? And at that moment, I needed to put the reminder and the alarm into my phone, which I do for just about everything now.
I actually set an alarm instead of a reminder, because I'm not good with setting up the text notification. So I just set an alarm.
Yeah.
Right. For 5:30. And you'll be sitting there and all of a sudden the alarm will go off and I'll go, oh, I got the live. Right. I don't even write what it is. I just set an alarm and it jogs my memory.
It bothers me though that I need that. It bothers me that I can't even manage my own life.
Yeah.
Without this little device in my pocket.
Of course. Whoa. We have breaking news.
Telling me what?
Ben got a phone case.
Yeah, actually,
wait, what?
My boss gave it to me. She said she got annoyed and she said, why do you not have a phone case? She goes, I've got an extra one here. And just shoved it in my hand. So
this is amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. He was walking around raw dogging it with his phone for months.
Terrifying. It was working fine.
It made me sick. My
boss just came by and goes, here, put this case on your phone.
There's another gift I was going to get you for your birthday that's now off the table. Yeah. Stop getting stuff for yourself.
It feels like it's our life. We should be able to remember the things we are supposed to do in our lives.
Well, I'll tell you. Apology accepted.
All right.
I'm sure the listeners forgive you as well. They're the most forgiving audience
what
out
did
there.
I miss? I'm curious to know.
We got into what we usually get into on a YouTube live stream. We talked about crazy radio stories, crazy radio people. They love the behind the scenes. We talked a little bit of Padres, tiny bit of Padres, because what's there to talk about at this point? Really, get to Chicago. You're going to the postseason. This is where it went. You're going to.
I couldn't let a game like yesterday.
It's not going to spin me out.
My day or anything.
It's not. It's just not. So we did that, and then I told a story that I had 100% forgotten to tell on the air, and it was one of the most interesting stories of parenthood that I've ever experienced. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it. Okay. Yes.
And I want to hear about your menu and your dinner as well.
I will share that with you last night. Fancy dinner.
The fanciest.
The fanciest dinner I've ever been to, I believe.
So,
one of at least 2 fanciest dinners.
So I got 2 boys, as everybody knows. Bo is 7, Taylor is 4. And with my oldest son, he's found his thing at 7 years old, which is sports. He loves to play sports. Watching sports, he likes to play sports. Excels in soccer, baseball, football, pretty good at basketball, and he loves to compete. So that's his thing. He loves to, when he's not playing a game, he loves to be practicing something. He just loves it. So with my 4-year-old, he's good at sports. He's got a really good arm. He can hit. He can throw. He can catch. He can dribble like a madman for a 4-year-old. He can shoot. But he's not on fire for it, right? Like he likes to play, but he's not on fire for it yet. So as you know, I've been pushing a lot of music in my house, and I have since the day they were born. I push music way more than I push baseball, football, basketball, way more. I'm always sit down. We're going to watch this video. This is Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. This is whatever. And I'm really push music on them. And he has started to take a little bit of an interest in it. So he's been at this School of Rock for a while now. And it's scheduled for every Monday. And he'll go 2 out of 4 times, 3 out of 4 times. And one time, he'll melt down. I don't want to go today. Fine, no big deal. My mother-in-law took him, and she came back, and she said, well, this was a little weird. I took him to School of Rock, and he was just like sitting, and they were just like tapping their legs the whole time. I go, really? Yeah, kind of the little kid class. And I go, okay. And she goes, I thought he'd be playing the drum. I go, yeah, me too. So Hannah wrote them an email and said, this is a little weird. Like, we're paying for this. She went, this is where I get my Karen from, right? Sexually transmitted, maybe. So she writes them an email. And she's like, is there a more advanced? They
can't even get a recorder.
Yeah, like a recorder, something, a triangle, a tambourine. And so
you're just keeping the beat. That's it. Bump,
just boom, 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 for like the whole class.
Bump, bump, bump.
And so she's like, can we, I don't know that we want to continue. So of course they're like, Taylor's very great. He's great. Turns out he's now ready for the next. It's just the happenstance is amazing.
Cox Cable comes by your house.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So they send him to and I go to Taylor. I said, hey, man, you're going to go to the next level. I said, but it's with older kids. Taylor's great. He loves older kids. He hates babies and anybody younger than him. Hates them. He like snarls at him. Look at this cute baby. He just likes old. Yeah, he likes old.
Does he like being the baby?
He loves being the baby, but he does not. All his friends are like Bo's friends, so he wants to hang out with the older kids.
He values experience,
correct,
over youth.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So he goes to his first class, and he comes home, and he is bursting. And I'm like, "What did you do?" He goes, "I played bass, I played drums." I was like, "That's incredible! How did you love it?" He's like, "I loved it." So that night, I'm sitting in my office, and I'm working on my computer. And to my right is a keyboard that we got both kids for Christmas. And Taylor comes in, Dad, can I play the keyboard? I said, sure. I'm just, writing up something for tomorrow, whatever. No big. I'm just working at my desk. And I'm sitting there and I'm typing, and all of a sudden I hear da na 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 na.
For Elise.
Da na 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 no 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 no. And I look over at him, and he's right these 2 feet from me, and he's on this keyboard, and I go,
"You had one class."
I know he was in one advanced class. So I sat there, and like the hair on my arm stood up, and I'm watching him, and he's looking at me. He's got this like eating grin on his face, and I'm looking at him side eye, and I'm like, "Hello!" She runs in from the kitchen. What's the matter? I go, watch. And he's da na 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 da na da 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 da.
It's a prodigy.
And I looked at her and I go, we did it. I go, we did it. I go, we have this kid excelling, first round draft pick maybe. If he keeps at this pace, then we have musical prodigy. We've done
Earl
it.
Woods watching Tiger Woods swing a golf club for the first time.
So I'm sitting there and I'm going, are we the greatest parents of all time? Could we possibly be like we've got it? We got this thing figured out.
Game this easy?
This is this easy for us. Are we the best? Should we be doing a podcast to make millions to teach other parents how to just crush parenthood? And we're watching him. She gets her phone out. and she starts filming. I'm watching his fingers, Ben, and he's hitting the notes. I have video of it, and I'm looking at her, and I'm just bursting with pride. This was, I would say it was about 3 minutes of the best feeling that I think I've ever had. Watch the video. Listen.
Now there's like a little light going around on the keyboard, but he's not necessarily following the light. Like it's not telling him like what to do.
Bo's laughing in the background. So he's playing, right?
This is one real class.
Well, turns out I'm looking at it more closely, and I realize something. There's some...
Stop playing for a sec.
Right? So suppose we're dying. So I'm watching this, and I go, is it possible? And then I go, yeah, it's possible. There's some program that he hit a button that every key he hit was the right note. Didn't matter what key he hit. Every key that he hit was the next right note. So it didn't matter.
It didn't line up with the actual notes on the keyboard.
Wasn't playing for release at all.
You could have hit the one way at the end of the left, way at the end of the right. It was going to play for release no matter
what. You just had to hit some button. Any button you hit, and it's the next right note.
So that little red light wasn't saying like this is the right key. Hit this key.
Correct.
He could have hit one on the complete other side of the keyboard,
Didn't matter.
and it would have been the right.
It would have been the right note.
Holy!
So I'm
crap.
looking at her and I go, I think we have been had. I think we've been had. Doesn't actually know for release.
Okay, well,
Is he duping us?
Is he duping us? So
and Bo was cracking up.
Bo
He
loved
knew.
it. No, Bo was laughing because he was so excited too. He thought it was rad, and we all did. And I'm telling you, Ben, for that 120-second period in my life,
did you cry?
Almost. I told you the hair was standing up. Paulie, I had chills when I watched it.
You had his life plotted out.
It was I could see him and great, radios, what is it? Radio City Music Hall just up there playing. I'm like, we have the next Billy Joel on our hands. So he hit some button and it had the program.
Dominic gonna check. Frederick Chopin.
Yeah. We got totally bamboozled by this kid. And I don't think he did it on purpose. I just think he just found this thing, and his parents literally are like, all right, I'm buying a baby grand piano. I'm going to put it in our home, and we're going to do this. I will tell you,
The fact that he had the grin.
The grin was amazing. I'm going to chase that parental high, though, forever. Like that feeling that I had was the greatest feeling of all
I feel
time.
like, a lot of musical artists nowadays are doing the same thing anyway. It doesn't matter what notes you play.
You just plug it into a computer.
Just puts a button on his guitar and it just plays the right notes no matter what.
I told Paulie, I go, how fun would music be if you just picked up a bass and you're like, and it was just, didn't matter what you hit, the song came out. You picked up a guitar and you start playing Eruption by Van Halen, and every note you hit's the right note. I'm like,
Padres need the bat. No matter how you swing, it just hits the ball for a home run. No matter what you do, it's just automatic.
Julie. I was like, let's see, Juilliard, Berklee College of Music. Like, where should we get him now? Because he's going to be a concert pianist at some point. He's got a better chance of being a concert pianist than a concert pianist. So I'm watching this thing going. I go, look, we are such rubes, you and I, and we're dying. We're dying. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But yeah, that's what you get on the live stream, complete with cursing and all of the other colorful language.
That is incredible.
It was great. So he's still he loves music. He's into it. But
does he want to learn that song?
We're not quite
how to really play.
We're not quite there yet. We're not quite at for release yet. But hopefully we get there at some point. But yeah, somebody said he'll be a hacker. He goes, you got bamboozled by a 4-year-old. Yeah, we did.
Stop playing for a sec.
Little clown. I loved it. He was so happy for his.
Is he pooping us?
That was so good, dude. Oh, it was so funny. And he's just grinning from ear to ear. So yeah, that was that's what you get on the YouTube. And again, cleaned it up a little bit for the radio. But I want to hear about this very fancy dinner that was so good, and you were looking so forward to it.
I was, and it lived up to the hype. I was very excited going last night. My buddy Scott said, "Let's go and try Lilo," which is the new Michelin starred restaurant in Carlsbad.
For those of us that have never eaten at a Michelin star restaurant, what is it like? What is a Michelin? Is Michelin star a relatively new thing?
It's been around for a while.
I don't remember hearing it when I was a kid.
It was mostly in Europe when you were a kid.
Okay.
In America, in the last 15 years, it's kind of grown. It's basically just a review guide for the best restaurants in the world, and you can either get 99.9% of restaurants are not Michelin rated or starred.
Is it something you have to like?
So it's
shoot for it, right?
Well, yes, but it's kind of like a secret. Like they have diners who come in.
Ooh, okay.
And
haven't you watched The Bear?
A few times.
I did. I know they were
like
shooting for one.
And you can get 1 star, which means you are beyond outstanding. The service, the food, it's all impeccable. You get 2 stars, you are next level. The cream of the crop when it comes to food around the world. And then there's just a handful of 3-star Michelin restaurants, which are just over the top, beyond restaurant experiences.
Like nude women serving you food. Like, what is the 3-star entail?
I don't know. I've never been to a 3-star. I've never been to a 2-star. This was
suspended from the ceiling.
I
with
believe
nude women
my first
you.
even 1-star experience. And all I can tell you is it was really unlike any dining experience I've ever had. Starting with atmosphere was gorgeous. You would have loved it.
Yeah.
When we walked in, well, first you kind of were seated outdoors for a little pre-dinner cocktail and some little bites that they'd bring out, and we were sitting under this beautiful tree in a courtyard. It's gorgeous. Okay. And then they guide us in. It's a very modern, wood-paneled restaurant, but it's also cool. They have a reel-to-reel player playing Joy Division.
Whoa!
It's not stodgy. It's
badass.
Not stuffy.
How many people are here?
Yeah. There's 22 seats, I believe, for customers.
Everybody at the same time.
And they actually kind of staggered a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of moving around.
What was the crowd like?
Young, beautiful.
Yeah.
I felt like the oldest, ugliest person in the restaurant. And that included the staff, which, by the way, outnumbered customers. There were more chefs, sous chefs, servers, maitre d's, beverage consultants than there were actual customers in the restaurant.
This is a total experience.
So, and when we met most of them, and what was interesting is they were bringing our courses, and I do have they brought the menu afterwards. You don't know what's coming, but
you don't know what you're getting.
No, each course is just brought for you.
So a flat fee. And you're coming for the experience.
You're just coming for the prefix. This is
what you have.
It was like 19 different bites, and they're all fairly small. Bites, but each time a new course comes, one of the chefs actually brings it to you and describes, how they made it and what was going into each dish and the ingredients in everything. And it really was. Absolutely. Do you want to hear about some of the
more than
dishes that we had? Let's see.
I mean, if it was good enough to miss your member stream, I want to hear all about it.
It was pretty incredible. Let's see. One of the first things we had was abalone, which I don't think I've ever actually had.
Is that like tuna?
It's like a kind of like a clam from the bottom of the sea.
Okay.
It's kind of like more of a steaky texture, grilled over embers, brushed with fermented pepper and guanciale, tempura of brassicas, oyster emulsion, allium powder, a broth of roasted chicken and bone marrow. It was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. One of my favorite things that we had was the ikejime black cod with roses, nectarine, yuzu, and a sabayon of Pinot de Charentes.
Oh.
It was like the best sauce I've ever eaten, like a very foamy, delicious sauce. And then in the middle of the meal, and this was wild.
Do you know what?
I don't
literally
know.
Any
I
of
don't
that
even really
means?
know what any of this is.
Because I
Speaking Latin.
didn't understand a single word.
In the middle of the meal, it's not dessert, but they brought ice cream, which was orgeat flavored ice cream, which is like an almond liqueur, topped with Kaluga caviar, which sounds so bizarre and
ice cream and caviar,
and it was beyond good.
Make your knees weak.
It was beyond like crazy. Like you're eating ice cream in the middle, and it's sweet ice cream, but then salty caviar on top.
What in the world?
And it was and then the piece de resistance at the end was the A5 Japanese Wagyu.
So good.
Just absolutely beautiful.
Melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
Melt in your mouth beef.
I've had it
like
once.
Like 3 bites of it, but it was perfect. It was just absolutely perfect. And then there were 3 desserts, and you got all of them. Well, you didn't choose. You just got them all. You would have loved the blackened banana. With a roasted rice donut, shiso miso caramel, and it was absolutely one of the best desserts I've ever had.
Let me ask you about this. Were you full when it was over?
I was. Oh, yeah.
It's enough food.
There was like 18 different things they brought.
Yeah, that's true.
So even though none of them were big.
If you give me like 18 hors d'oeuvres, I wonder, am I satisfied? I think maybe.
You would have been.
What about booze?
So there was a beverage pairing, which my wife got the beverage pairing. I had a couple of sips, but I was not going to go full on 9 or 10 different beverages, knowing I had to get up at
4 a.m.
morning for a radio show the next day. So I just had one glass of red wine that I kind of nursed throughout the meal.
I ate Fish District last night.
Did you?
I had grilled mahi, Polly, with a sriracha sauce drizzled over it.
Like Mr. Acha has been nice.
Sriracha.
Yeah.
Sriracha. That doesn't sound right to me.
It's really sriracha, but sriracha.
So I had that, Polly, with some white rice and some asparagus.
Ooh.
And it was not quite what Ben had.
Not quite. If you want to look, though, here's the...
let me see this.
Here's the Lilo menu.
So I think that would be good.
It's not an every night meal. Let's just say that. I think
go 3 days a week with your family.
I think Scott treated me. It was an early birthday present, which was nice. I do believe at the end of the night, with all the beverages included, 3 people got into 4 figures. Yeah, this is a special occasion treat sort of restaurant, but
this looks phenomenal.
Like nothing I've ever experienced really before in my life.
I wonder if I would like it, and I wonder if the missus would like it. We're not super fancy. We don't have super fancy palates. Sounds like a killer experience, though. And I do think it's smart that they don't show me this before they bring it.
It would be overwhelming, actually.
It would be overwhelming, and I'd be like, ooh, but I don't want to eat this. I think if they bring it to you, you're like, all right, I'll try this.
Whatever you say.
Was there anything that you didn't like?
No, there was literally nothing that I didn't enjoy eating.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Probably my least favorite course was the lobster, which is, and I like lobster, and it was delicious. It came with a little like brioche bun, so you can kind of make your own little lobster roll out of it. It was delicious, and it was probably my least favorite course.
Wow. Melina said she had McDonald's last night. Look, this is not a segment for the common man. This is a very, very highfalutin segment.
I saw people in the chat talking. Did you guys ever see the movie a couple years ago, The Menu?
No.
I saw involved dining like that type of a restaurant. It was on a secluded island, and it's like a thriller. Yeah, it's like that dining experience gone bad. But the foods that were featured in that movie, that's what I'm picturing. It was like the craziest stuff. It's like, here's a bubble of this flavored whatever, and you're supposed to pop it.
We talk a lot about art. That is art, straight up. It was artistry,
and the care. You could tell that the passionate. I mean, they'd been working all day on this meal. The pastry chef came by, and she was like a genius, pastry chef genius. I think it was absolutely incredible.
That's so cool, so cool. Well, I'm glad you got to go. We're like, we have to roast him a little bit for no call, no show. Hannah said this morning when I told her, she goes, she's like, maybe it's the time of year. Like she goes, Tony Gwynn Jr. fell asleep in the middle of the show after a long travel day. I'm like, this is the time of year where I think, the baseball season's coming to a close. We're going to the playoffs. There's a whole new level of stressors. We can talk about all of that.
Yeah, we are a little behind. So why don't we set the menu on the other side of traffic and our break, and then we'll get into yesterday's Padres game. I do have a perspective I want to offer to Padres fans here at this end of the season with what the Padres are facing coming up likely in the postseason. And I will share that with you coming up after traffic and a break here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, as good as that meal was last night, still love the Kung Pao chicken, though, at 7 Mile Casino at Sammy's. It really is elite.
Definitely more my speed, for sure.
It's definitely going to be a little more budget conscious than what I had last night, but the food is delicious. It's served 24/7, which is one of the great perks when you go to Sammy's at 7 Mile. It's open 24/7 with the players menu, and then you're already inside San Diego's best card room.
That's exactly right. They got all the card games that you love. They got California-style blackjack, Pai Gow poker, Texas Hold'em, and, of course, Baccarat, if that is your fancy. Smoke-free environment, slot machine-free environment as well. It's just a great place to go. Just 7 minutes from downtown.
They like taking care of high-limit players. So if you are want to bring a few bills to a Texas Hold'em table or California-style blackjack, take good care of you. Spreading good action for people who care about it. If you're just going to have a good time, bring friends. Enjoy the patio. It's right there on San Diego Bay with a view of Coronado and the Silver Strand. Really gorgeous, especially this time of the year. The sky last night was amazing throughout San Diego. We saw lightning. Paulie was like in the middle of it in the East County. Just crazy. Gorgeous. You can just, enjoy the patio at 7 Mile. Check it out this weekend. 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Quickly, we can set the menu before we jump into some Padres talk. I will start with the lead. Of course, it is a Friar Friday, and you can stay tuned later this morning at 9 a.m. for the Manager's Report with Mike Shildt. He will join us from the south side of Chicago.
Hey, boy. How much would he have enjoyed last night's dinner?
Probably not at all, if I can if I read my manager correctly.
Y'all got any chips?
The manager's mixed nuts.
The Manager's Report, refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Our last conversation.
I got any just regular vanilla ice cream. I don't need no caviar.
What is this, fish ice cream? Forget it. So good, dude. Yeah, this is the last one of the regular season.
He is
I'm sure he's elated.
Yeah, I think it's a very weird time. You were kind of saying it when we got in this morning.
I said it on the live stream last night too. I don't know. Like I'm not hanging on every pitch right now, probably because I know that they're going to the postseason. And I just have that feeling the division is out of reach, really, in my opinion.
I tend to agree.
And
they did slip to 99.8%.
Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I have hung on every pitch all season. I wanted them to have a better run here with the Dodgers in their lull before, now. They didn't. I've resigned myself to that fact. I just want to get to Chicago uninjured, healthy, rested, and ready to turn up. Do they have the ability to flip a switch? I don't know, Ben. History this season would tell me no, right? Based on what we know.
Okay, so this is the perspective that I wanted to offer. I'll just jump right into it. I disagree with that 100%. History would tell you that the Padres absolutely have a switch. They just don't flip it very often. I went back this year. And one thing we know about the playoffs, and I don't think anyone can disagree with this, the team that should win rarely wins.
It's true.
If it was, then the Padres, by the Dodgers' own admission, should have won the World Series last year. But the team that should win the playoffs rarely wins the playoffs.
It's not the NBA, right? It's not.
The team that wins the playoffs is the one that flips the switch at the right time in October, gets hot, and makes a run and goes all the way through the end of October. Do I think that's going to be the Padres? No. They don't flip their switch very often, but they did. They did twice this year. They started the season, flipped the switch on, and they went 15-4, I believe, in their first 19 games.
It's awesome.
And then they turned the switch off. And for most of the first half, they played mediocre baseball. And then the second half started after the trade deadline. They flipped the switch. They went 19-7. So over those two stretches of baseball, they were 23 games above 500, two switches. And then they were off. And the rest of the year, they've been below 10 games below 500 outside of the two flipping the switches.
Well,
but it clearly tells you they have the switch. And when they get hot and play well, and by the way, those were against some good teams in the second half. It was Dodgers, Giants, early, they took 3 of 6 from the Cubs in part of the early stretch as well. When they flip the switch, they can absolutely, but they just don't do it that often. So I don't think they're going to flip the switch, but they could.
That's what I think. That's
it a couple of times.
That KG says, "I'm sorry if we think the team that hasn't won a series in a month against a team not named the Rockies isn't going to go deep in the playoffs." And listen, I don't think anybody's perspective on the San Diego Padres right now is wrong. I don't think yours is. I don't think mine is. I don't think KG's is. I think a healthy dose of pessimism about this team is absolutely justified. Absolutely justified. I think a healthy dose of pessimism about the starting rotation, the offense, even the bullpen now is absolutely justified. I really do. I do wonder, what is the fan base of every playoff team right now? How do they feel about their team going in, right? And I know it's not, we need to handle our business. I don't think it's an uncommon feeling that we're feeling right now. I really don't. And I do wonder, have they just shut it down? Like, have they just shut it down? I see some effort. I see maybe perhaps too much effort in some cases. But I don't know. It's hard to quantify. I mean, you're losing games. You have to take into account the Mets are fighting for their playoff lives. So they're extremely focused. What we're asking this team to do, at least me, I'm asking this team to get through the next 9 games. Don't break your back, because you haven't anyway. Don't break your back. Literally, don't break any bones, and get out there and let's just roll the dice against the Chicago Cubs, who I think are a beatable team, even at Wrigley Field. And even with all those question marks, they have them too.
And ultimately, this whole last month, whether you won the division or not, you're not playing for a bye. And you're not playing for anything other. It'll be 3 days into the playoffs. This entire season will be forgotten, because you'll either be done or you'll be on the same footing as everybody else.
Correct.
You need to win 13 games in 1 month, essentially, to win the World Series.
That's right.
The Padres have had 2 stretches where they have told me they can do it. They absolutely can do it. Am I predicting that they're going to do it? No.
No, you'd be a fool to
do that. Yeah.
The one thing, again, that gave me a little bit of hope, and I did mention it on the live stream yesterday, is when we talked to Eno Saris yesterday. He always gives a little bit of a glimmer of hope, and he said, teams that make good contact typically fare better against the best pitching in the league. And it makes sense. It stands to reason that would be the case. Teams that slug do better in the playoffs. That's what all his research has told him. That's what all the work he's put in has told him. We're slugging a little bit better, better at this point than we were. Look, I think we have as much hope as the next guy. I wonder when it's all said and done, who will have the lowest odds of advancing. It might be us. It might be the Mets. I have no idea. It might be the Diamondbacks if they get in. I have no clue. But the Guardians, perhaps, Benny, if they get in, and I just don't know what it's going to line up at. But those don't really matter come October. They really don't. It's who can get hot for 13 games.
And the Cubs could be the team that gets hot, and you just run into a buzzsaw. But I'm sure the Cubs are also very worried.
I promise
they're going to run into a buzzsaw in the Padres.
I
don't really want to face the Mets right now.
I know.
That team feels very dangerous with Pete Alonso and Juan Soto.
Lindor.
It feels like a very dangerous team. If I'm the Dodgers, I'm not looking forward to facing the Mets in a 3-game series with my season on the line, even if it is at Dodger Stadium.
Tavo says you're all giving false hope to Padres fans. The truth is that they are screwed. If you knew that, then you shouldn't watch. Any team that gets in the postseason has a chance, period. And you can't dispute that.
Take away the Dodgers World Series because they were screwed last year.
They were screwed.
They had no chance. Their fans had false hope.
They had 2 starters.
They had no starting pitching. Yep. They were not a World Series winning team last year.
Yep.
So take it away if that's what you think. I'm not telling you to have hope or not hope. I'm telling you how the baseball playoffs work.
Yep.
And one of those teams, one of the 12 teams that gets in, and the Padres will be one of those 12 teams. Doomers. They are going to be one of those 12 teams. We'll flip the switch,
crank it up,
and we'll play really good baseball for 3.5 weeks, and they'll win a World Series. They'll win a World Series. Yeah. The odds are it won't be the San Diego Padres, but there's no reason it can't be. The odds are it won't be the Dodgers. The odds are it won't be the Phillies. The odds are it won't be the Cubs. The odds are it won't be the Mets. Yeah. The odds are it won't be the Brewers. Every team goes into the World Series as, at best, maybe like the biggest favorite's going to have 1/4 of a chance to win.
Think about how much now the Dodgers have a 14% chance, and that is the highest in 14%.
Baseball. So every team goes in as the longest of long shots. Yeah. If you were betting a horse race, they'd be the 12-1, 13-1 shot going into the horse race. But someone wins the race at the end. They always do. So you're just hoping your horse comes in.
Yeah.
You put down your $2 and you're hoping your horse comes in a field of, they're all running pretty close to each other. And, does he have that last burst of energy or not? We will find out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to ask Shildt, are we to expect this team to flip the switch and turn it up come October? I think there are a lot of the right pieces there. Again, guys, it's just going to depend. It's going to depend on, go figure, how they perform. What kind of swing decisions they make, who can steal a run, who can make a play they probably shouldn't have made, who can be dynamic on the base paths, who can dig deep, get a 4th or 5th out when they are dragging, just like Trinan did, Evan Phillips did last year for the Dodgers. Who can do that? Paco Martinez, soft fan base, soft media, soft team. We'll see. You don't know. You don't have a crystal ball, Paco. If you did, you wouldn't watch baseball. I promise you. Because 29 teams don't get it. They don't get the brass ring. And if you can't enjoy the playoffs, then you're not a baseball fan. You're not. If you can't enjoy your team being in the playoffs, you don't like baseball. You don't like baseball. You just don't.
There's nothing better.
Why would you grind through 162 games to make the playoffs and then go, we're going to get boat raced? Who does that? Who does that? So you don't have a crystal ball, Paco. Mike Shildt doesn't have a crystal ball. Nobody does. The trend, we just said, it's trending to be garbage. Garbage. The trends tell me this team is going to get crushed. The same trends told a lot of people last year the Dodgers were not going to make it with Flaherty and Yamamoto.
The Rangers had no chance.
No chance
None. A couple of years ago.
None. Why would you watch this sport if you can't get turned up for October? I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me. 162 of these.
All right. We also will have Darren Smith joining us at 7:30. All of our regular features as well coming up on a Friday edition of Ben and Woods. But let's check traffic, and then we'll get into yesterday's game. Not too much to say about it, I don't think.
No.
But we will talk about the bad mostly, maybe a little good, mostly bad yesterday. Coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Speaking of water, we're dealing with much less of it this morning than we were yesterday at this time. Yeah, dry roads. The rain has pretty much moved on. Nice, easy ride out of the South Bay so far. The bridge, not too bad, heading over to Coronado. Not seeing any delays out of the East County just yet. Yeah, West 52, you're looking good out of Santee. 17, South 5, both cooperating nicely, coming down from the North County. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
Oh, a shame indeed.
I couldn't agree more.
Here are the lowlights from yesterday's game.
What the heck happened?
Are you kidding me?
Can't even believe it.
It's the
Padres wrap-up.
presented by Hamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
Sends this one in the air to deep center field. He has done it again. Oh, my goodness. Pete Alonso has homered in 4 consecutive games. And he gives the Mets a 1-0 lead. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Here it comes on 3-2. Arise swings, pops it into left field, not deep. Nimmo coming in. We'll see. Makes the catch. Fernando's on his way. Here's the throw to the plate. It's not in time. Tatis slides in feet first. And for the second time in the last 2 days, Tatis scores on a sac fly that was more pop-up than fly ball. It's a 1-1 game. 1-1. Soto hits it on the ground to the right side. That'll get a run home. Rise collects it at second, throws to first in time. RBI ground out Juan Soto as Mullins crosses the plate. And the Mets go back ahead. It's 2-1. 1-2 now. And Nimmo swings, hits it in the air, deep to right center. Fernando is back at the wall. It's going to go. A 3-run homer into the bullpen for Nimmo, his 24th of the year. And just like that, the Met lead is 5-1. Soto goes. Alonso muscles it in the air to right field. Fernando backing up towards the corner. He'll make the catch. Lindor tagging on his way home. He will score a sacrifice fly. And the Mets add on at 6-1. 2-2 to Laureano. The pitch from Diaz swung on and popped up. Left side of the infield. The third baseman, Beatty, looking for it. And just to the right of the bag, he'll make the catch. And a 1-2-3 ninth inning as the Mets take 2 out of 3 here this week and send the Padres to Chicago for the final 3 road games of the 2025 regular season.
Every game's equal, but every game has a different feel to it. We know we're in a head-to-head situation here. Like I said, we have 9 guys in our bullpen that were able to go, and Randy's been good for us a lot this year, and he's been able to dodge traffic. But some of the left-handed matchups weren't as favorable for him, and that inning started, and he got hit a little bit, but yeah, to answer your question, it did have that feel to it. It's that time of year.
Mike Shildt explaining his decision to remove Randy Vasquez from the game in the 3rd inning and put in Wandy Peralta, as he said, worst case scenario, backfired on him. 100%. And his rationale there, I thought was pretty solid. He said, Wandy gets ground balls better than almost any left-handed reliever. Nimmo hits ground balls more than almost any left-handed hitter against left-handers. We need a ground ball. I'm hoping he hits one at somebody, and we get out of that inning down just 2-1. Didn't work out. Wandy threw the bad pitch with 2 strikes, and that was the game right there. But that was not where the game was lost to me, Woods, yesterday. Your thoughts on bringing in Wandy there? Were you mad about it? Do you have a problem with it?
I'm not mad about anything right now.
I was confused, and I kind of laughed at how it backfired.
My thought, too, was like, just let Wandy pitch. If you're not
Randy,
I'm sorry, let Randy pitch.
He did let Wandy pitch.
Let Randy pitch. Just let him go out there and throw 75 pitches. You may need him down the road. Let him try to be the Strandy Vasquez that he's been. I realize he did get barreled a little bit.
He didn't like Shildt, didn't like the matchups necessarily, Randy, against their left-handers.
Yeah.
And his splits are pretty strong. Randy's tough on righties, but lefties get him pretty good. And the Mets have some good lefties in their order. Was never a great matchup. I think Shildt knew that going into the game. Hey, I'm not going to push this and, make Randy face these lefties too many times, and saw an opportunity, went for it. But again, by that point, the Padres were down 2-1. They didn't score again.
Right.
So whether it was 2-1 or 15-1, this one turned out to be 6-1. That's not where the game was lost. The game was lost offensively when the Padres couldn't get anything going against the rookie Jonah Tong, who I believe celebrated his 13th birthday yesterday.
For
Congratulations. What a nice win.
He has less facial hair than you do.
He does.
It's crazy.
He is a young-looking dude out there on the mound.
He throws absolute ched, but he was very hittable.
He's got good stuff, but he came in off of a very rough outing.
Yeah. That's what I said yesterday. You got to
And the Padres had a
a
chance in the first inning to really rattle a young pitcher and deal his confidence a blow. And they had, runner on. Manny just belts one off the wall in left. It's going to be second and third or first and third. But when Manny got thrown out at second base for the second out and Tong got out of the first inning, you could see
it.
His shoulders rise. Just sigh of relief. All right, got through that. And, he settled in with some good stuff and pitched a good 5 innings after that point. Padres had their opportunity in the first inning. You'd be mad at Manny for getting thrown out at second base. It's not uncommon when a guy hits a ball off the wall. He thinks he's got a double. Manny hit it so hard, though, and, they made a nice play. They made a nice carom, perfect throw, perfect relay. Threw Manny out at second base fairly easily in that situation. Should he have stopped? Should Arise have stopped the day before? Yeah. Couple of bad base running blunders by your San Diego Padres 2 days in a row. Don't really think that that's the character of the team, that they make a bunch of mental mistakes. We talked about it yesterday. I thought it was fairly surprising. It's a team that is mostly buttoned up when it comes to decision-making like that. But that one turned out, I think, to be a pivotal factor in the game where it could have been a completely different story had that first inning gone differently.
Let's keep talking about it when we come back. There's a lot more to talk about as far as what we expect, moving forward for the last 9 games.
All right, we will continue. We've got Don't Do This and Darren Smith coming up in hour number 2. Friday morning is here. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Want to let our tier ones know that we've got a couple of tickets to give away for Monday's game against the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll do that this hour. So stay tuned to Ben & Woods sometime between now and 8 a.m. We're going to give away 2 tickets to the Luis Arias bobblehead game, last bobblehead giveaway of the season for the first 40,000 fans. You can get your tickets at Padres.com and learn more at Padres.com/giveaways.
They just had this conversation in here, and kind of, but this is the time of year for the open-ended questions, right? Like when would you start to really buy in to the San Diego Padres as a potential World Series champion? For me, like, if you go beat the Cubs, you still have a disgusting matchup in the next round, right? It's not an easy path to win a World Series. It's not. And like we said, it's not the NBA. The NBA, the cream usually rises to the top. Baseball, it's really hard to say that, especially based on the wild card, past history.
You're looking at 2 out of 3 in Chicago against the Cubs, and then winning a 5-game series against Milwaukee.
Yep.
And then you would be playing a 7-game series against the Dodgers or Phillies, most likely.
Correct. It's a really gnarly path. Do they have the guns to get it? Again, here's your soft media saying, I don't think so. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I would love to be proven wrong.
Well, you've played 3-game series against every National League playoff team so far this year. And I believe you've won at least one game in every one of their ballparks. You won 1 of 3 in Chicago, 1 of 3 in Philly. You won 2 of 3 in Milwaukee. You won a couple games at Dodger Stadium, not many, but you won there. And you won 1 of 3 in New York. So you have the ability to win on the road. You just need to flip one of those 2 losses into wins
a win
in the playoffs. That's what you need to do.
Our pal David J says, I'd start to buy in on this club if they're up 3-0 and have a multi-run lead with 2 outs in the 9th inning of the World Series. That's a tough crowd.
I'm with you, though.
I feel the same way.
Why would you buy in sooner?
Yeah. Why would you buy in? And for me, like I said it off the air too, and Ben made a really good point about this. I said, this season, it hasn't been a grind per se. It hasn't been a grind. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed a lot of moments. I've enjoyed some pretty good performances. We've had some really cool. Fernando Tatis Jr. has made some highlight reel plays in right field. Manny's hit some tanks. It's been an interesting year. Crony stepped up. We've added some new pieces.
Gavin Sheets has been
great. And so, Laureano, I'm inspired by some of these guys and some of their performances.
Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, 100%. I've been uninspired by a lot of the performances as well. Dylan Cease, Michael King's last start was pretty rough, but again, he's rehabbing. It's kind of his spring training.
Whole season's been rough.
It's just been rough. Weird, funky injuries. Jackson Merrill's, it's been uneven, certainly. So, and I thought, but man, I was both feet in last year. And I think there's PTSD for a lot of fans knowing that switch got flipped last year when, again, everyone was saying, you're winning the World Series. You're going to win this World Series. Get used to it. Get ready. And you didn't. And it really ended in pretty horrible fashion. Of course, you're going to be a little bit reluctant about diving in fully off the pier. And so you made a good point, though. Last year was full of so many magical moments, late inning heroics, comebacks. That stuff, though, helps you believe. But like you said, you needed all of that to kind of get there.
It also masks the flaws that caused you to be in those situations that you needed all of those Jackson Merrill game time or go-ahead home runs in late innings. All those walk-off wins that they had last season, all those extra inning wins. What are they, like 11-0 to start the season in extra inning games? All those things papered over a little bit the fact that fundamentally, though, for the first 9 innings, they were, oftentimes a very mediocre team that found ways to win games.
Yeah.
This year, you haven't really seen a lot of that.
Right.
There hasn't been spectacular comebacks, big home runs late, like very few of them year long, and yet here they are.
Cruising,
make it into the playoffs.
With 2 weeks left.
Probably going to end up winning 4 or 5 games less than last year, but it doesn't really matter because you're in the playoffs.
Right.
And you've yet to break out any magic,
magic wand,
for the team. You haven't gotten any of it.
That sounds like, my kind of tongue-in-cheek saying of walk-off wins kind of suck. Because more often than not, that means somebody blew a save.
Yeah.
Somebody, you choked away a lead. Like, overall,
You didn't perform.
You were losing the whole game, and
yeah.
then you put it together at the end, and you win. You're always happy with the win, of course.
You love it. It's a great moment for you.
In the moment, it's awesome. It's like a drug. You're like, that was great.
Yeah.
But you're like, how did we get there, though?
It runs out.
Right.
You know, the drug runs out.
You were up 4-2 in the top of the ninth, and then you give up a 2-run home run. Yeah, that walk-off's great.
You're like, woo!
Yeah, if magic was something you could bottle, last year's team rallies from the 2-0 deficit to the Dodgers late in the game. In Game 5, Jackson Merrill hits a big 3-run home run, off of Blake Trinan or whatever, and they go on and they win the World Series. But magic is not something that you can count on really anytime, the regular season or postseason. And it ran out a little bit last year. They were a good team last year. They were a very good team that people beyond us, beyond Padres fans, all thought very good team that could have or even should have won the World Series.
I don't know, man.
I don't think this year's team is that different from last year's team.
You know, I think we talked to Darren about this. We'll talk to him soon this morning, 7:35. He was a little creased yesterday about pulling Randy, and Mike's talking about trust and this and that. And I saw Darnay do a thing too. He was talking about the trust that Mike Shildt seemingly doesn't have.
The one that I saw from Darren,
maybe has lost.
I saw the one he was talking about how like 2 days ago with Michael King, you let him just rot.
But see,
that game wasn't as important to win,
right?
To chase, pull him early and chase the win.
But I do think that's a different scenario entirely. I do. I think when you have a 1-1 in a 3-game series, you're tied 1-1, and you did try to chase it a little bit yesterday by putting Wandy in to try to get the lefty out. You did try to chase it with Michael King. He needs like it sucked. He gave up some bombs, but he's got to get his pitches. He's got to get his work in at this point. It was a I'm not going to pull him knowing he needs to be out there throwing competitive pitches to get the field back. So I think it's a little bit different, but I don't know, man. Like I just get the sense, and I think Darren even said it like maybe last week or the week before even. I just get the sense that they know they're in. If I know they're in as a fan, I know they're in 99.8%. They're going to the playoffs. You're telling me that feeling doesn't also make its way through the clubhouse of like, we're in. I'm not going to kill myself to win this game against the Mets. I'm just not. I'm going to try, and I'm going to.
When you're now 3 games back.
Right.
I mean, it was right there.
If I feel it as a fan and I'm watching the game going, all right, oh, well, we're still playing in Chicago in a couple weeks. How does that not invade the clubhouse as well?
Because I don't disagree with you. I think that's a very human thing to have happen.
Of course.
Now,
when the finish line is in sight for us at the end of the year, the finish line, I got 2 weeks off. We're going to crush the Christmas show. The show before the Christmas and holiday show, I'm like, why am I even here? Right. Like, what am I doing? I just want to get to this finish line, the big finale. Yeah. So I do get the sense that they're not, and I don't think it's an internal discussion of like, hey, we're gonna tap the brakes. We're not gonna burn ourselves out here.
You're not seeing like egregious lineups. Like,
no, I just get the thing. I just get the sense that they're like, we're in the playoffs.
Just going
we're
through
not.
the motions.
We're not going to break our backs.
So if you're Mike Shildt, like,
because I don't think it's smart to chase the division right now. I don't. I think it's actually dumb.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, we have Mike Shildt joining us in 2 hours. He's not going to talk too much about what their strategy is moving forward over these next 9 games. But like, is it more beneficial to try to get hot now, getting into the playoffs, or? Like we've been talking about all morning, would it be better to rest guys, take it easy, take your foot off the gas, and then turn it on?
If I knew that, I would not be here with you two. I wouldn't.
I do want to point out, did we feel this way 2 days ago when Manny's hitting a grand slam and they're going deep 3 times? And, that team looked like it was going for it, and yesterday's didn't. It is still baseball. And sometimes you don't swing well against a certain pitcher. So, yeah, I mean, the trends are definitely they're not in one of their hot periods. They've had, again, 2 of them. Really, 2 hot periods. They about a quarter of the season.
Yep.
If you add all the games together, the first 3 weeks and about that 3-week period in late July, early August, they've had about 6 weeks where they played really well. Elite baseball, like best team in baseball. The record, they would have won 120 games at that pace. The rest of the year, they've been like this.
Sense.
They've been like this the
but
rest of the year.
Logically, that also tells me that for 75% of the year, they've been a bad team.
They have. Well, they've been like this. win a couple.
I'm not saying it's the right strategy. I'm not making excuses. Alex and Zaza can't agree with me. I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you. I wonder if that's the mentality right now of this doesn't matter right now. It matters in 10 days. That's when it really, really matters.
I think Shildt still thinks it matters. He said so after the game yesterday. He said that's why he took Randy Vasquez out. I mean, he's trying to win a division still, and he felt like that was the best way to, try to win the game, was to get an out there with his lefty reliever and piece it together the rest of the way. Whether the players feel the same way, whether they care about winning a division, I think the person who cares most about winning the division is probably Eric Grupner, because he'd love to get home games in the playoffs.
Of course.
Don't know. I'm sure the Padres would rather play at home, but ultimately it's a best of 3 series. Wherever you play it, it's going to come down to execution. It's going to come down to how you hit against the other team's pitchers, and it's going to come down to how you pitch the ball on your team. And it doesn't matter where the games are played.
My hope, just like everybody's hope, is that, come 11 a.m. in Chicago in 10 days or whatever, that they're ready to play. And if they're not, that's when you can go back and say that was a crap strategy and you guys blew it, right? In my opinion. As a fan, I'm watching it going, I don't care. We're in the playoffs. We're going to get it. Like, get your work in. Try to stay as locked in as you can, but you don't need to go nuts trying to chase a division. You don't.
It's not everything, but Fangraphs does the mathematical. They take all of the emotion out of it and they just look at the numbers.
Because we're emotional.
And the numbers say that the Padres have a 3.2% chance right now to win the division.
It's not.
So should they go balls out
for
the next 9 games for a 3.2% chance of a home game?
And
that's pretty much all they've got.
I just think you have to try to stay not stay sharp. You have to try to get sharper in the next 9 days.
And that's the debate. Do you get sharper by trying to get hot now before the playoffs start, or just hoping that you're rested enough?
Can anybody answer that question, though? Can anybody answer that question? Because I know Shildt will, in the next 9 games, Ben, he will go to Mason Miller. Mason Miller is not going to go out there and throw 87. He's not.
Right.
And Manny Machado is not going to go, 50%. And Jake Cronenworth is not going to go 50%. That's not what I'm saying, and I don't see that.
But the chat says, so we're saying we don't care about a division win even when it's being handed to us.
It's not being handed to you.
It was.
Those games are over.
Yes.
You can't do anything about
that moment has passed.
That moment's gone. You can't do anything about those games that you lost against the Twins and the Orioles. Those are done.
That's why I was more upset 2-3 weeks
ago
than I am now. Because it's like, guys, does anybody want to win the West?
I don't think those games were a case of we're not really playing for the division. I think they were just in a funk then.
Yeah.
I don't think that was necessarily our foot's not on the gas pedal. They just did a bad stretch in those games.
I can't get mad about that anymore because it's already passed. And so
there's just not enough time left now.
Correct.
The Dodgers have tried to give you the division.
Yeah, you didn't take
weeks.
it. And that's going to
and that's, I don't want to say it's fine because I'm disappointed. I think that would have been cool to knock them off.
It would have been great to win the division this year.
But it is what it is, and you can't go back and change anything. But you're looking at, again, 97% likelihood that the Dodgers are going to win the division. It would take a pretty epic collapse for them to choke away a 3-game lead with 9. What is it? 4-game lead?
Yeah, 4-game essentially.
Tiebreaker.
Yep.
In 9 games.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
It could.
And
that'd be awesome.
I wouldn't go nuts. I really wouldn't. The way I think you should handle it is that you should just go.
Giants could win the next 3 and you could sweep the White Sox 100%.
Yeah.
Do I think that's going to happen? Not really.
I just think try to get sharp. Try to get healthy, and then let the chips fall where they may.
And does that even matter? In 2022, we just said there's going to be no probably 100-win teams this year. In 2022 in the National League, the Dodgers won 111. The Braves won 101. The Mets won 101. All of those teams were considered dominant, like regular season teams. And the 2 teams that played in the National League Championship Series were the 5-seeded Padres and the 6-seeded Phillies that year, who won 89 and 87 games. You can limp into the playoffs with 87 wins and then look like an unbeatable team like the Phillies did, throughout the National League playoffs. They weren't They weren't a juggernaut that year that the Padres lost to them. They were the 6th seed. Padres, remember, had home field advantage in that series because the Phillies limped into the playoffs as the 6th seed, and there were all these teams that were so much better. The Dodgers were 111 winners. They couldn't get by the Padres in the playoffs. The Mets won 101 games. They couldn't get by the Padres in a home 3-game series on their own field. The Braves got knocked out with 101 wins by the Phillies. The playoffs don't make a lot of sense.
They don't.
They really don't.
You know, somebody made the point earlier. I think it's a good one. Everybody has been a little mediocre this year. I mean, you look at the Brewers; they're 94-59. They have well exceeded expectations.
They had a losing record until almost the end of May.
Yeah, they went on an insane run. But you look around baseball, they're really the only team I would give a fair shot at winning 100 games this year. When's the last time we had a baseball season without a 100-game winner?
I don't know. It's been a while, though.
It's been really mediocre on all fronts this year. So does that give you any hope? I don't know. I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be here, right? Like, if I knew the answer to that,
I think they go 6-3 the rest of the way they get to 100.
Yeah.
So they got a chance.
They got to go 6-3. And that would be the only 100-win team. The Phillies need to win 9 straight to win 100. The Dodgers aren't going to win 100 games, I don't think. Where is the standings for the Dodgers? Yeah, they're out. They cannot win 100 games.
Not even close.
They can't win 100 games. Okay? They're probably not winning 95. Who on the planet thought that team wouldn't have 100-plus victories? Nobody. So, again, it's been mediocre around baseball. Every team's got some issues. It's not an excuse. It's just a reality. The numbers don't lie. They don't. Some of the numbers that don't lie for me that I worry about is where we stand offensively in the game of baseball. Like, we're not a good offensive team. We don't score a lot of runs. That makes me nervous. Our bullpen is great. It's great. We have a shot with the number 1 bullpen in baseball to advance. It's got to be deployed perfectly. Things have to bounce your way. You're going to have to get a timely hit here and there. You're probably going to have to lay down a bunt at some point. The trends tell me we will do that. This is what the team is at this point. They're going to be in. They're going to have a shot. I don't know. It's out of my hands.
All right, we'll take a quick time out. We'll come back. Remember, we're still going to give away some Padres tickets coming up, but Don't Do This is coming up next. And we saw, for the first time in baseball in the last 2 years since they changed the rules, a team make a mistake that they shouldn't have made. We'll explain.
This is crazy.
Coming up next with Ben and Woods after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, SDFatLoss.com. You know what? Last night was not an SDFatLoss.com night for me. Fancy dinner. But the great thing about the weight loss program at SDFatLoss.com is they know you're going to have days where you want to go out and enjoy yourself. Even when you were losing the weight, I went on vacation, ate what I wanted for 3 or 4 days, came back, got back on the program. I still ended up losing 40 pounds in 60 days. They understand that life is real life, and you can't live on bars and shakes for months and months and be okay. It really is not okay. They have a plan that's based on real food where you can lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days with no exercise and no drugs or injections. Find out how it works by getting a free consultation at SDFatLoss.com. Make sure when you sign up for the program that you mention Ben from Ben & Woods, you're going to get $200 off before September 30th. But act now. I'm told the discount goes away at the end of the month. So if you want to lose your weight before Thanksgiving, before the holidays, you can do it right now at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. All right, I'll get us started with a huge game yesterday for the Seattle Mariners. They were in Kansas City wrapping up their series against the Royals, and they entered the day a half game behind the Houston Astros in the AL West. So if they win, they tie up the division, and those teams will be playing 3 games in Houston this weekend. If they lose, they're a game behind. So this is huge. Close game. It's 1-0, top of the 8th inning. Mariners batting. Nobody on, 1 out. Dominic Canzone hits a sharp grounder to second base. It's fielded by second baseman Michael Massey. Throws to first. 2 outs, right? Wrong. The Mariners call for a challenge, not because the play at the first base was close. It was not. They say that Massey violated MLB's shift rules.
Wow.
Because he was on the grass to start the play. Now, this rule was implemented 2 seasons ago at the start of last season, and it has not once been called on anyone in the entire, how many thousands and thousands and thousands of plays have there been
I
without an infielder lining up in the wrong spot? But they went to the review and they saw that, yes, one of his feet, the back heel, was on the grass. You have to have both of your feet on the dirt now as an infielder when the play starts, or you are in a shift violation. And that resulted in an error, Canzone being awarded first base. He would then score on a 2-out double, made it 2-0. The Mariners go on to win the game. Don't know if it changed the outcome, but it's amazing that everybody else has been able to do this the entire time, but Michael Massey became the first to have that don't do this moment of being called for a shift violation in Major League Baseball.
I thought we would see it more, when they announced that they were going to be doing it. I thought that would be something that we would see.
Well, so they changed the rule this year that it's now an error and the guy gets first. It used to just be a ball like before the play. I think there was a couple of those last year, and so people are saying that Xander had it called on him, but it was just a ball and they just throw the pitch again.
Oh.
Now it's an error and the guy gets first base. So I think that's the difference.
Wow. Something to watch out for in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you know?
No one's ever done. You should be able to feel like grass versus dirt.
Yeah, well,
you should know that's a bad mistake.
What
That's
an
why
advantage his heel being on the grass was for him in that play.
It was a hard hit ball. It helped him be
maybe for a split second.
But it's different. Remember, guys were lining up 5 yards into the outfield.
Manny played right field.
Yeah, back before the shift rules changed.
Very, very odd.
That was bizarre to see Manny
in right
field.
It's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Like, think about all the changes in baseball. Is that one you guys miss a lot? I don't. Nope. I think that's fine. I like guys kind of where they're supposed to be.
It was like every other batter. Manny was just
running,
jogging from third all the way to shallow right field.
Awful.
It was weird.
Awful, weird thing. It worked. It worked a lot, to be honest. But now here's the Tom Brady story, being in the booth, the conflict of interest. It's funny. It's a funny story. It's the NFL. Are they going to bend the rules for a broadcaster that also is a team owner? What kind of information are other teams giving them? This is pretty funny, though. Las Vegas Raiders offensive coordinator Chip Kelly is adamant, guys, that Tom Brady does not have a huge role in the team's game planning processes. He said when they talk ball, it's pretty generic. Now, Peter Schrager reported during Monday Night Football that Brady will talk with Chip Kelly 2 to 3 times a week and occasionally goes over the game plans with the assistant coach. But Chip Kelly said, no. We're actually supposed to sit here and believe that Tom Brady does not give Chip Kelly ideas, bounce ideas off of him. Let Chip Kelly bounce ideas off of him based on the next week's opponent, based on his multiple Super Bowl wins. Tom Brady, the GOAT, he says, look, we spent a lot of time over the summer. We just talk ball. That's it. I just use them as a resource. And hey, when you faced a Mike Zimmer type of defense, what did you do? What did you like protection wise and play wise? So this is going to go on and on as long as Tom Brady continues to do all of these jobs. But we are actually supposed to believe, Ben, that he is not helping the Raiders, Chip Kelly, do offensive game plans.
It doesn't really pass the smell test.
It doesn't. It really, really does. Yeah, Chip Kelly source. Trust me, bro.
I mean, if Tom Brady is there in a meeting, he sees something like obvious that the Raiders should be changing.
And believe me, he will see it.
He will see it.
Zone defense.
Yeah. 3 more.
I mean, really, it doesn't make a lot a sense.
It's like me during
Tom Brady
real or
wouldn't
fake.
Say anything.
Yeah, it's like me during real or fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, finally a little do this.
DD mega do.
I'm excited about this for next week. So the Ryder Cup is coming.
Can't wait.
To Bethpage Black. It's going to be probably the most insane golf competition of our lifetime.
Yeah.
The New York fans, it's not like a regular tournament. You've got everyone cheering for the U.S., cheering against the Europeans. It's going to get rowdy and wild and loud.
And a little ugly, maybe.
And the do this, I'm excited about this because NBC, who's going to be broadcasting it with their legendary producer, Tommy Roy, says, going to do things a little differently. Normally in the U.S.,
Jelly Roll is going to be in there. He's going to be calling
normally we watch sports, and we're very neutral. Like Joe Davis, even if he's the Dodgers announcer, is supposed to be impartial when he's calling the World Series. You can believe it or not, but at least the expectation from his producer is, you call it neutral. They're not going to do it that way. They're going to have what they're calling a very partisan broadcast booth, with one analyst representing America.
I love it.
And then another one representing Europe. So it'll be Nota Begay versus Nick Faldo in the mornings. And then in the afternoons, it'll be Brad Faxon against Peter McGinley.
And
they'll be yelling at each other. They'll be like arguing during, it's going to be more like a European style, a lot more homeristic.
And cheering.
Yeah,
cheering against.
Cheering, like outright cheering for their teams. And they said, that's not how we're always going to do it. But for this Ryder Cup, we're going to try it with a very partisan style broadcast. Now, we listen to team broadcasts. Even Jesse, you certainly know he's cheering for the Padres when you listen. But for the most part, he's trying to be fairly neutral. And, I mean, do we want Homer broadcasters or not?
Yes.
You do.
Oh, in the Ryder Cup?
In the Ryder Cup,
100%.
yes. Like all the time?
Look, we talk about it every year at this time. We're going to go to the playoffs. And I have to hear AJ Pierzynski call games. Right. I don't want to. I want to hear Mud and Don. I think it's garbage.
I wish the home the team that has the home field advantage in a playoff series, that's the broadcast you get.
Yes.
Even for like the away team.
Of course.
Like on those
and that's your incentive.
Those Roku baseball games, they'd have one broadcast from each team. Like Mud went with, the Tigers broadcast, whoever it was. But they still acted like they were a booth together.
Correct.
They didn't fight with
They
each
didn't
other.
fight with each other.
And this is supposed to be where they're kind of like fighting with each other on the air, which is going to be different.
I like a homeristic broadcast. I do. And it's the worst part of making the playoffs is that you don't get to hear your guys that you spent every single night with, whether it's Jesse or Tony or Mud and Don.
I haven't heard Don's like TBS games because I'm usually watching the Padres game, even if he's not on. But does he like if he's playing? He's calling the
he gives it
the Philadelphia game. Is he into a sea of Philadelphia?
I think he gives it. I think he gives it a Don Orsillo like performance.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I think there's a little extra.
What's the deal for the playoffs? Is it going to,
I believe
I don't know
the
who
National
has
League
what.
this year is TBS because it was Fox last year, obviously. We had Joe Davis last year, so they alternate. So I think the National League, it's ESPN in the wild card round, and then I believe it's TBS after that.
Okay.
I don't quote me.
All right, I won't quote you.
That's what I believe is how it works. And that's don't and do this for a Friday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Got Darren Smith coming up, but before that, let's give away the tickets right now. 2 tickets to Monday's Padres game against the Milwaukee Brewers. The first 40,000 fans will receive a Luis Ariz bobblehead, La Regadera. The last bobblehead giveaway of the season. Get more info at padres.com/giveaways, but we're just going to give it to the 6th caller right now at 833-288-0973. Dial now, 833-288-0973. Win your tickets to the Luis Ariz bobblehead game on Monday against the Milwaukee Brewers. And we'll talk to D. Smith in just a moment here on 97.3 The Fan.
Love it. Quickly, happy Friday, guys. It is Woodsy. If you're trapped in that high-rate mortgage, if you're watching your hard-earned money vanish every month, stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they're delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Their rate reduction home loan program, streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR, close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. Here's the kicker. You can even skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Do not wait. Rates this low will not last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start. With a better mortgage, call 619-207-4336 or go to loanpronto.com to get started. Lock in your new low rate. Skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. 619-207-4336 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan also brought to you by the Adams Avenue Street Fair. The San Diego Foundation presents the Adams Avenue Street Fair, September 20th and 21st. That's this weekend. Free, family-friendly festival in Normal Heights featuring 75 musical acts, carnival rides, beer, gardens, festival foods, and 300 unique exhibitors. All right, Darren Smith is standing by. We didn't really talk about SDFC's game against Tijuana.
Yeah.
Earlier this week. I know it wasn't really the starters who played, but it was a good crowd. We can talk to Darren about that and the big game against Atlanta coming up tomorrow. We'll do that right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Traffic is sponsored by the kids of Caltrans. For the most part, folks are doing a pretty good job of staying out of trouble on our roads. We have reports, however, of a stalled vehicle in middle lanes in National City, northbound 5, right around Civic Center.
My mom, my papa, my daddy. We're to Caltrans on the freeway, right next to speeding cars.
Please be careful.
Be alert. Be work zone alert. Brought to you by the kids of Caltrans.
And as we welcome Darren Smith in, Darren, we've been trying to become new soccer fans this year. And one thing that I am having trouble getting my mind around are these friendlies, because they're more than, it's not like a spring training game in the middle of the season, like if the Padres played one that didn't matter at all. But again, it also doesn't count in the standings. And I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to care about a game like on Tuesday when they're not using all their starters. But hey, a lot of good crowd there, and seemed like there was a lot of excitement as well.
Yeah. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
My friends. Yes. That was for our pal Caesar, who wanted me to start speaking Spanish on the broadcast today as he's driving Natasha to work. No, I mean, listen, I think it confuses a lot of people, but 29,700 or whatever the crowd was on Tuesday night, it was a lot of fun. Like, it was really just a lot of fun. And they did turn this into a friendly competition at least. So, there is a little bit of stakes, a little bit of territorial bragging rights between Club Tijuana and San Diego Football Club. It's called the Baja Cup. I thought it was actually a pretty smart, well-designed trophy. I thought it looked a lot better than just some piece of tin like we've seen in some of these competitions. So, regional bragging rights, especially for two clubs now that are going to be sharing the area. I think, both sides were into it. You're right. They weren't the A players. We didn't see designated players. We didn't see some of their star players. But it was competitive. It was getting testy in the second half. We saw some yellow cards, some bookings. And it was fun. And I think everybody walked out of the building saying the same thing. That was just a lot of fun. Like, it was a good celebration of the sport in the area, and looking forward to it again next year.
And you've got what, Darren? Is it 4 regular season games left?
4. Yep.
4 left.
This week, Atlanta, one more home game. That's next Saturday against San Jose. And then back-to-back weeks on the road to finish it up.
It's interesting, too, the parallels. This team is going to make the playoffs. They're in the playoffs, right? And we have this debate all morning. I don't know if you've listened at all, but about what's the right way to manage this. Now, I know they're two completely different sports, baseball and soccer, but what is the right way for Mikey Varas to do? I have a feeling Mikey Varas is not going to take much foot off of any gas pedal, just having followed him this season. Mike Shildt probably is taking a foot off the gas pedal a little bit.
Right,
But what is, in your opinion, the best way for SDFC to move forward the last regular season games and get into the playoffs and actually do some damage?
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, there are some interesting parallels that you can draw. For SDFC, they are still top of the Western Conference standings.
Yeah.
So they are trying to protect that. But, it's interesting because I was thinking about it against Minnesota United, down 3-0 very late into that match, and Anders Dreyer and Chucky Lozano are still in the game. And, it goes into the 5th minute of injury time, and they end up scoring a goal, which made it more cosmetic looking, right? Losing 3-1, I guess, looks a little better than 3-0, but not really. But those guys were still in the game. And I did want to ask Mikey about that this week, but the schedule was a little bit crowded, so I didn't get to it. But, I wondered if he thought, like, maybe now I got to think about playing the long game here, and I got to think about getting a guy like Lozano out of this match. But he didn't. And, obviously you were never going to play him Tuesday against Tijuana. But if you find yourself in a similar situation to that, how much of it now is preparing for the postseason?
Right.
I think where I get confused with the Padres over the last couple of days, I get so much of my information from Kevin Acey.
Yes.
And, 2 days ago, I'm reading the Daily and, his daily newsletter and Mike Shildt saying that was like a playoff game. And then today, the first words in the Padre Daily, it's like Fernando Tatis saying these are not playoff games. So I don't know. Are they just playoff games when they win?
Yes.
And they're not playoff games when they lose?
You got it.
Is it a playoff game if it's Randy Vasquez, but it's not a playoff game if it's Michael King because we need to lengthen him out? Good luck to you guys a little later on today is what I'm saying.
But the question is, do they know? Like, do they know? I said earlier, I'll tell from my perspective, Darren, I have my DMs blowing up yesterday. Oh, people furious about this 6-1 loss. And I watched it and I went, all right. I didn't care. I don't care about these next 9. I don't care.
You're just locked in on a 5. You're just saying,
should I?
Yeah,
should
I
I
at this
care?
point, you're right though, because the division is gone.
It's gone.
Right? Like the division very much.
It was a different story 2 weeks ago.
3% chance to win the division. I don't care. I don't.
But it wasn't gone on Tuesday, right? Like it was not gone on Tuesday, and I certainly understand why you're going to pitch Michael King. I understand why you need to lengthen him out, but. Essentially you kind of punted away the division when you said this is more important.
Right.
But where you get confused is that didn't seem more important yesterday in getting Randy Vasquez out. Mike's like post-game talking about how he's counting outs, which is very much a postseason thing to do. So I don't know, man. Like it just I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of confused. But for SDFC, I do wonder that. Like with 4 to go, and Mikey has talked a little bit about how Mikey said, we need to find the things that we think might hurt us in the postseason and start addressing them now, because the time that you have between the end of the regular season and the start of the postseason isn't long enough to correct some of those things. So it is fun to watch both of these things and try to see how these managers, how the wheels are spinning in their heads.
But Darren, isn't soccer a little different from baseball in that most people care more about the regular season champion. Most leagues, they don't even have playoffs in soccer. English Premier League, you win the regular season title, you're the champion. Now, that's not the case in MLS, but it feels like the first place team that carries more weight. If you win the most games in the regular season in baseball and lose in the division series, you're a joke in baseball. But in soccer, I don't get the sense that they feel that way, that there's more respect attached to a regular season title, maybe even than a playoff title.
Yes and no. I mean, they do give you something for it. It's called the Supporter Shield, and it's a real trophy, and it comes with benefits. I think we've talked about how if you win this, you get to go to the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which is an international tournament. You also can do that, by the way, finishing with the most points in the Western Conference. So still something for those guys to be considerate of. But I asked Landon Donovan about this. I said, did the Supporter Shield do anything for you as a player? He's like, not really. It's like, I was more an MLS Cup guy. Now, why is that? Because Landon grew up in the United States and the culture of sports in the U.S.
Yeah.
That's where MLS sometimes finds itself, its identity. Is it tied more to the way that the world treats the sport, or is it tied more into the fabric of U.S. sports culture? This is like one of these great conversations about MLS that I kind of geek out over. should MLS be more structured around the global attitude towards the sport, or should it be more structured about trying to appeal to the American sports fan? I don't have any answers for that. But, if you go ask, I bet you if you asked half of the head coaches in Major League Soccer, would you rather win MLS Cup or would you rather win the Supporters Shield? I bet you'd find pretty close to a 50-50 split. Haven't really asked Mikey that. It's a good question. I'll have to tuck that one away. But, I do think, I've read stories where you will find a split for people that say, I would rather be known as the most consistent team all throughout a regular season. And others would say, I'd just rather go on a run and win MLS Cup. I don't, give a damn if it's from the 5 or 6 seed or wherever.
Yeah. I mean, I want a ring. You know what I mean? Like that's how. And again, it's just been beaten into our
American,
our psyche,
rings
right?
culture, right? I mean, with a Z, it's the rings culture. So that's a big part of it.
And I mean, I just remember for years, Braves fans like we got 14 division titles, pennants. I'm like, you never win the World Series. Like, congratulations, but.
Right.
Very
well, Woodsy, like you and I have been texting a little bit about this, this Cowboys documentary.
Yes.
And like one of the things that really stands out to me about this documentary is like the great line from Skip Bayless. And yes, like Skip Bayless, once upon a time,
he was good.
Everybody was like a real journalist.
He was really good.
And he was really good in this. And he says, specifically about Troy Aikman and Jimmy Johnson, the thing that made their relationship so strong is that they were driven by like the rage that they had to win championships, plural.
Yes.
Was like unrivaled, and it's the thing you really pick up on in this series is like, especially early on, how driven all these guys were. Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Jimmy Johnson in particular, about winning titles. Like it was just such an obsession to the point where even at the end of it, Troy's going, like I had to play for these other goobers and it probably cost me a couple titles. But, it stands out about like how much people want these. Then they didn't care. They wanted to win all the games, but they really wanted to win the final game of the year.
Jimmy Johnson like left his wife and kids and was literally, he was like,
I got things to do here.
I got stuff to do. I'm the head coach of Dallas. It's crazy. I mean, that's obviously you need to find a balance here. You brought up the term identity as it pertains to SDFC. And, I want to talk about the identity of the San Diego Padres. It has been just I think when you look back after the regular season ends, we'll be, somewhere, how many wins? 89,
87, 89. I don't
know. And you look around baseball and you go, all right, there's one team really with a chance to win 100 games. It's been a fairly mediocre season for a lot of teams across the board. All playoff teams have the exact same worries. Some is bullpen, some is offense, some is starting pitching. We have a couple of those. Have we found our identity this year as the San Diego Padres? What is their identity? I don't know that you can put a finger on it.
Maybe bullpen. By the way, can I take this brief moment to pat myself on the back?
Yes.
I think at Cactus Jack's, was that where we were? Where you guys were opening day?
No, we were at Baja Ricks.
Sorry.
Cactus Jack's is in Arizona.
Yeah.
All right. Well, close enough. I think I said 88. I felt pretty good about that the other day.
Did you say 88?
I did. Yeah, check the tape.
I said 81.
Yeah.
My expectations have been exceeded. Right. Yeah. Look at you shill. I had him at 500.
I know, just another corporate lapdog.
Yes.
On the Padre flagship.
That's right.
But the funny thing is, we all thought the Dodgers were going to be 105 minimum.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't. If the Dodgers, this is all the Dodgers' fault.
If they had just done what
they were supposed to, we'd all be okay. Padres right where they should be going into the playoffs. We knew they'd be a wild card this whole time. This is all on the Dodgers.
It is.
Making our life more difficult.
They've confused this all. Yeah, I think it's bullpen and Manny Machado, and that's good or bad. I think it's just it's the rising tide of Manny. When the tide's high, everything feels like it's a lot better, and if it's not, then you don't particularly love it. It's hard to say it's starting pitching. I think having a really, really good bullpen. I mean, how exciting was that the other night with Mason Miller and Juan Soto? That was just it was such good theater. Like it was incredible. So I do think those kind of moments. It's hard to think anything up and down the lineup, but Manny Machado, as the saying goes, like as goes Manny, seemingly as goes the Padres. So I guess that sort of feels like the identity. It's hard to really pick something else because it's been all over the place.
Bunting. Bunting is true. It's true.
Yes, because on
Lord Bunter.
0.1% of plays all
Lord
season long, they bunt.
Bunters.
Does that really make an identity? I don't know. They do it more than other teams, but
They do.
I mean, there's often games they don't bunt at all. You know, it's
Yeah,
I can't remember a time when they didn't square. At least square.
Did they bunt yesterday?
I don't know. Somebody squared yesterday.
Darren, appreciate it. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again next Friday.
Thank you, dude.
Adios, amigos. Have a good weekend.
Darren Smith, Cactus Jacks, Baja Ricks. You could open Saguaro Steve.
That's true. I could. Saguaro. Come on down.
So we're come back. We get the second half of Ben and Woods coming up. I had the most unusual request I've ever gotten.
Yeah. This is up
as
there.
a radio host waiting for me when I arrived this morning.
This is an odd one.
We're going to talk about it.
I don't understand it fully.
That is coming up in the last 2 hours of Ben and Woods. Don't go away on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we're halfway home on a Friday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Great to be here with you. I'm probably a little punchy today. I haven't slept well in the last 2 nights. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting like 3 hours of sleep. It doesn't bode well for my mood and my health. And yeah, I think I'm a little bitchy. Do I seem bitchy?
You look a little stressed.
Do I look a little stressed?
Yeah.
I'm not really that stressed.
You're not treating us poorly in any way.
Okay,
I don't
good.
think, which is nice.
I don't want to be a tyrant.
Don't take it out on your colleagues.
No, I don't want to be a tyrant in here at all. I'm just tired. Just tired.
Maybe you need another vacation. The first 5 this summer just haven't done it for you, and you need a 6th vacation.
Literally not one of those was relaxing in any way, shape, or form. Like, yes, I got to do some cool stuff. None of them were relaxing. I have not felt relaxed all year. It's great to be here with you on a Friday. Got the Skipper Mike show coming up at 9 a.m. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Ben Higgins, your friendly fancy neighborhood sports anchor.
And your Friar Friday Skippers Managers Report with Mike Shildt, refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1920.
You know, this business, it's funny. I was telling the story earlier in the week of the painting that Gene Locklear, former Padre, it was like a charcoal drawing of a Native American boy holding a arrowhead knife. Cool. Really, really well done. One of our audience members reached out to me and said, Mr. Concierge, could you please handle the delivery of this painting if I drop it off and get it to Tim Flannery? Love Flan so much. Now, I know his family, my wife, and his daughter, Jenny, are really good friends, and they had birthday lunch for my wife yesterday. So San Diego's concierge, did what I did. I opened up the back of Hannah's car, and I put the painting in. I said, you're going to see Flan's daughter. Go ahead and take care of that for me. She goes, oh, good. Okay, fine. Flan loved it. He was –
okay, that's great.
He was over the moon about it. He's going to hang it at his ranch. He's elated about it. And I wanted,
which was, I'm sure, the idea of the
Deborah
who gave it to you.
I believe it's Deborah.
She was right.
Correct.
He really enjoyed it. You weren't sure. You thought maybe
I just want. You never know.
Foisting this upon him.
Correct, because
she was right.
Because things happen sometimes. Like in our business, we get a lot of stuff. You know, people give us a lot of stuff. I'll show up to the station one day, and they're like, "Hey, this guy dropped off these tomatoes for you." I'm like.
That's a true.
It's a true thing.
Story, by the way.
I've had like oranges, bags of oranges left for me at the front desk. All of us, T-shirts, avocados. It's great. It's great. You never know what you're going to walk into. But I will say, I've had
an old Navy football memorabilia.
I have walked into a shoebox full of old baseball cards as well. Maybe the kids would like to pick through these. Very kind gestures, all of them. You do get some interesting ones along the way, though. You really do. And, you know, for all the ones that make sense and you're like, oh, yeah, I was talking about this. Thank you. I will take that used sweatshirt that you wanted to give me. Thank you. You got one this morning that may take the cake, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Well, I think with a lot of your requests, you at least understand the motivation behind it.
Correct.
And you're the conduit for someone who wants to do something, get something, give something. I totally get that. The request that I had waiting for me this morning was exceedingly simple, but completely mystifying. So there was an envelope sitting on the desk where I do the show from. And, you know, you get an envelope that's handwritten nowadays. You're a little trepidatious about it. You kind of shake it a little bit like, what's in here?
Well, you're like, is this going to be a letter like ripping me or praising me, or is it an old baseball card of a guy named Ben Higgins that played in the 50s? You know,
something in it that I don't even want to see. You've gotten those before. So, yeah, it was a little bit.
What, like old nudes of you?
Well, you know, that Dodger fan who sent you.
Oh, yeah. I got ransom letters.
Yeah.
Like from a
so
Dodger fan.
Is this hate mail?
Doo-doo on it?
Is there anthrax? I have no idea.
Right.
But I open it up, and all that's in this envelope is a yellow card with a Post-it note and a self-addressed stamped envelope from Mike B. in Joliet, Illinois. And the Post-it note simply said, Ben Higgins, can you autograph this note card for me featuring a 1984 Padres box score from the San Diego Union Tribune. And here it is. It is a cutout from, the agate page of the newspaper of the June 9th, 1984 game between the Cincinnati Reds, San Diego National. This is in the National League back in the day.
In good shape.
Yeah, it's pasted here nicely to the card with the Ed Whitson was your winning pitcher, went 5 2/3 innings. Craig Lefferts went the rest of the way to get the save. Padres won it 12-2. Just ran away from those Cincinnati Reds. 3 in the bottom of the first. TK, our friend Terry Kennedy, hit a home run, as well as Greg Nettles as well. Easy victory. I don't remember this as being some sort of significant game. Obviously, it was on their way to their first ever division title, but I don't remember this as a particular game.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't play in this game.
I did not play in this game.
You didn't broadcast this game?
I may have attended it as a child, but I don't remember particularly any specific
9 years old?
games.
9 years old.
9 years old. But he specifically wanted me to autograph it and then send it back to him in Illinois. I don't think that my autograph adds any value in particular.
How much value was there already?
I don't think there was that much value to it, unless it's like personal significance. But he didn't explain what the personal value.
It's definitely personal significance. I'll tell you that.
C20 Moreno. I remember that lineup like it was yesterday.
You want to hear the lineup?
Yeah,
All right, here's the lineup for the Padres. Very small print here. Leading off, second baseman Alan Wiggins. Well, that's the closest to my name you're going to find on this box
Correct.
score.
Wiggins and Higgins.
Batting second, and because it's so small, they couldn't fit his entire name. Pinch hitter, first baseman, BE''QUA. I can only imagine that is one Kurt Bavakwa. Then batting, well, actually, he came in as a pinch hitter for Alan Wiggins. So batting second then was Tony Gwynn, the right fielder, went 2 for 4.
Heard of him.
2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. Batting fourth, pinch hit for
You're
Tony
crushing
Gwynn.
this, by the way.
Well, the way they do it now
You
is
sound like a regular Don Orsillo.
nowadays they indent the pinch hitters, but back then they just
didn't.
listed them all.
What's the date?
June 9th, 1984.
Yeah, just pull it up on your computer, Paulie.
Batting fourth, Greg Nettles, the third baseman, then Steve Garvey at first base, Tim Flannery at second base, Terry Kennedy behind the plate, Kevin McReynolds out in center field, Carmelo Martinez in left field, Gary Templeton, your shortstop. You found it.
And then Mario Ramirez was a pinch runner for Tempe, and Ed Whitson, like you said.
So Dub J says, I don't think he wanted your signature. I think he wanted maybe you to take it, someone that was on that team, Concierge Ben. No, he specifically,
that would make more sense to me.
would if he said,
hey, Tim Flannery,
Flan,
can you go get this?
You know Bavakwa,
can you go?
PK.
I mean,
we
do, but no, it specifically asked me for my autograph. Can I have your autograph? There was no one else mentioned, so
Mike in Joliet, Illinois. If you're
listening,
maybe watching on YouTube,
or call,
give us a call.
I
want to crawl in
tier 1, but maybe they're not.
I want to crawl inside his head.
833-288-0973.
Hannah says, did he mean to send it to Mud? No.
Because he's from Joliet.
It was named. It said on the. I saw the envelope too. Ben Higgins, 97.3. The
Fan. It didn't look like there was any misprints. So here it is. I will be sending it back.
Here's the thing I love about Mike B and Joliet that wouldn't happen if somebody did this to me. They wouldn't send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I would have to then go home, lick the thing, go find a stamp, go and mail it. This is all dialed in. All you have to do is put in the outgoing mail here, and you're good to go.
That's it. I'm good to go. It's one of the easiest tasks I've ever been asked to do. I just have no idea why.
What is he going to do with this?
No.
Why you?
I mean, it's on.
Why you?
Is it going to book somewhere?
Was that his favorite game? Was it maybe the first game he ever went to?
Tony Gwynn Jr. even would have made
Tony
more
Gwynn
sense.
Jr. His dad played in the game. He got 2 knocks that day.
It'd make a lot more sense.
Huh.
He didn't say, can you go get Tony's autograph?
No.
He wanted Ben's autograph. Signing autographs is who would want my autograph? Anytime I've ever signed a ball, I'm like, I don't understand this.
No, you really don't want
this. You don't want this. It just is the weirdest thing. This is weirder than anything I think I've ever seen.
Remember somebody at FanFest this year asked us to sign the back of their Padres jersey next to the Fernando Tatis Jr.
I couldn't believe it. It made me sick.
No, you do not want this. He's like, no, I need all three of you guys. And we're like, no, you don't want this. This is going to diminish the value of this jersey. And then he goes, oh, is that Adam? Can he sign the jersey too? And I go, well, now you might as well burn the jersey. Like, now you've completely destroyed it.
It's a scam.
Fine.
You have my signature now, like Randall Stevens. The signature on the card was a spot-on match. Got to go drain all my accounts and go to Zihuatanejo.
I don't understand it even a little. I don't understand it even a little bit. It could... It's such a random box score that he took the time to obviously
and has held on to for 41 years.
Dude. And then on the back, even weirder, it says at the bottom of the card, Ben Higgins, and there's all these scribble marks
the back of it
that look like they were made by my 4-year-old. And it says Ben Higgins at the bottom.
It does. I forgot about the back.
And it's very, very strange. So, Mike B, it's on the way. It is on the way. But it's one of the weirder requests I think I've ever seen.
Serial killer. Yeah, the back is definitely
it's very weird. The back's the best part.
They were kind of just
scribbling that part. I forgot to kind of glossed over the back.
Just like he's sitting there going,
show it again to the big screen. You're on the big screen now. Just
what the hell?
Yep.
And see at the bottom it says Ben Higgins written very sloppily. I wish I understood why, Mike. If you're listening, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
he did it for
Happy
you.
to do it. Happy to
go
do
ahead
it.
and put it in there. So let's see.
All right.
Is it going to fit? It seems ill-fitting.
I think he's planned it just
okay.
Exactly right.
It's BTK, the BTK killers.
Yeah, that's
stuff. Yep, lick it up, real good. Seal it tight. It's all dialed in.
Yeah.
You need to write a return address on there, or no? Will they mail it?
I will not be writing a return address on there.
Put the station's address.
That's true.
So if you
don't
guys
want it back though,
here's a new bit. If you guys have any garbage around your house you want Ben to sign, just send it on over. He'll sign it and send it back to
Tyler.
you.
Ben keels over after licking the envelope.
Oh yeah, he's like, well, at least you went out on top with a really fancy meal last night at Lilo. Yeah, it'd be a nice final meal for you.
It would be. That would be the best final meal I think I could have possibly imagined.
Tyler, I actually didn't think about him licking that envelope. There could be doo-doo on there. You have no idea. Are you feeling okay?
Still feeling okay?
Now he has your DNA. Ben Higgins arrested for murder in Joliet. I've never even been in Joliet.
Is this your signature?
Your DNA is all over this crime scene, sir. Oh my God. Well, listen, Mike, if you're listening, I have to know. I have to know why. I have to. It's gonna haunt me.
The why is
so
nag
huge.
at me for at least a while.
For sure. It's pretty brilliant. Pretty brilliant stuff.
All right, coming up this hour on Ben and Woods, we have our last chance this week to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas to see the Eagles at the Sphere. We'll play a little Take on Woods coming up in just a few minutes. And, of course, we're heading toward 9 o'clock and the manager's report with Mike Shildt. Paulie's going to have some headlines as well in the Ryder Report. Talk a little bit about Thursday night football game yesterday and more coming up. And we haven't really gotten into the rest of the baseball. I wanted to mention we have been treating the Padres season as though the NL West race is over. And while it is not mathematically over, the Padres, with the Dodgers winning last night, 2-1, well-pitched game last night. Even their bullpen came through. Dominant performance.
Yamamoto, I watched a little bit of it. He's ridiculous.
He's so locked in right now.
He's ridiculous.
The Padres are now 3 games behind the Dodgers with 9 games remaining. And they don't have the tiebreaker. So they need to outplay the Dodgers by 4 games.
Right.
What's a reasonable record for the Dodgers for these last 9 games? Let's say they struggle. 4-5?
5-4, 4-5.
4 against.
They got 3 more against San Francisco.
I think if you're lucky, they go 5-4 or 4-5.
Right.
Which means your only path to winning the division would be 9-0 or maybe 8-1. Wow. And 8-1 might not be good enough. If the Dodgers go 5-4, 8-1 is not good enough. You need to go 9-1.
And to go 8-1 or 9-0, you're emptying the tank. It's Mason Miller for 5 outs. It's Robert Suarez for 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going into the playoffs, like, cool, 9 games, we're exhausted.
and if the Dodgers win 6, you have no chance at all.
Correct.
That's their magic number to clinch the division. And by the way, you don't know if you're going to get close until the end. So you may be, pursuing it fruitlessly in vain. It really makes a lot more sense at this point. And we can try to talk to the skipper about it. I don't know if he'll want to, entertain such notions, but it makes more sense just accepting your kind of fate.
Yes.
Heading toward a wild card series and doing everything you can to get in the best position once you get there.
And that sounds so dire. Like, you got to accept your fate. Like you're going to the playoffs. You're going to go to the playoffs and you're going to have a chance to win the World Series. And I think it's certainly been lost on many fans. I think myself included at times this season, but now I'm fully resigned to playing in Chicago in 10 days. Just fully resigned and getting my.
I mean, could the Dodgers go 0-9? I mean,
yes, possible. Anything is possible. Anything on the planet.
But you would be very foolish to think that that's a realistic possibility going forward. The Dodgers aren't going 1-8 in these last 9 games.
I don't think so either.
So, you're probably fruitlessly chasing if you're trying to chase the division title at this point.
I agree.
All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, start calling in. We will play some Take on Woods last time this week and try to qualify our 5th. I think we have our 5th yesterday on Real or Fake, so maybe our 6th.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Grand prize finalist for the Sphere Las Vegas and the Eagles. We will do that coming up next after a check of traffic with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. As you're getting ready for your weekend, though, make sure you download your PrizePicks app to start playing daily fantasy alongside me and millions of other users who have found PrizePicks to be the way they love watching sports and winning real money just by being right. You watch a ton of sports, you kind of know what's going on at this point. You can use that knowledge by setting lineups every single day with 2 to 6 players with stat projections from football, baseball, any other sport you're watching, and win real money with PrizePicks. Make sure, though, you take advantage of the opportunities they give you. The max discounts, they call them. They're the squares, the lineup entries, where it's really hard to lose. Like this weekend, if you pick Patrick Mahomes over more than 1/2 of 1 passing yard, put that in a lineup, and you can win big simply by watching football, which you're probably going to be doing anyway, or college football on Saturday. They've got lineups all weekend long, even in-game lineups, like live lineups that you can change at halftime, second half, anything. It's all going on with PrizePicks. Just make sure when you download the app, you're taking advantage of the offer to get $50 when you play your first $5 lineup by using the code KWFN. So you put $5 in of your own money, they put $50 in of their money to get you started with PrizePicks. Just make sure you use the code KWFN when you sign up to play it your way. PrizePicks, where it's good to be right, must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All right, we got the manager coming up at 9 o'clock. We got a round report at the bottom of the hour. But right now, last chance this week to qualify for the big trip to Las Vegas, the Eagles at the Sphere. Let's play Take on Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we got John today. Good morning, John.
Morning.
You excited?
Yes, I am.
I would be too. You have an opportunity here to qualify for our grand prize trip for Las Vegas for the Sphere, the Eagles on January 30th. 2-night stay at the Venetian Resort, a Vibey VIP package, and a $100 gas card. If you're interested out there in seeing the Eagles in concert, their residency continuing through 2026. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. But you can win them. It's not easy. You got to take on Woods in our musical trivia challenge. 5 questions, but you get to pick our category. So here are your choices today, John. We've got the mystery category. The 2-second song is a one-word title, and that word will then appear in all other 4 answers. We've got an eye for an eye, all 2-second songs with the song title ending in the word eyes. And our new category, Once is Enough, 5 song titles that include the word once in the title. So, mystery category, an eye for an eye, or once is enough. John, what'll it be?
Eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye. All right, we're going music today. 5 2-second songs. What do they all have in common? The last word of the title is eyes. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many of them as you can. If you don't know one, you can say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. Remember, to score the point, you need to give me that song title and the artist. That's the only thing that gets you the point. Both of them together. John, are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. The category, an eye for an eye. Your time begins when Paul plays the first song. Good luck, John. Let's take on Woods.
Your Eyes, Peter Gabriel.
Correct. Song number 2.
Betty Davis, Eyes, Kim Carnes.
Correct. Song number 3.
Private Eye, Calling Out.
Correct. Song number 4.
Hungry Eyes, Eric Carmen.
Correct. And song number 5.
I've been watching you for some time.
Not that one.
Not that one, but you got the first 4. You want to think about it, or you're pretty much tough. That was a newer one. That's always a little bit tougher. All right. 4 out of 5 is not bad, and it may be good enough in this game. The one you did not get, that was Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish. I think that one might trip up Woods as well. Not sure he's going to get all 4 of them. I think, John, that might be enough. Hang on. We'll see how Woods does. He doesn't get the category. It's all 2-second songs today.
Okay.
Let's put 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on John.
Oh, In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel.
Correct. Song number 2.
Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes.
Correct. Song number 3.
Private Eyes by Hall & Oates.
Correct. Song number 4.
Hungry Eyes by Eric Carmen.
Correct. And song number 5.
I've been watching you for some time.
I don't. Let me think.
People in the chat got it. Can Woods come up with it?
The Eyes of Your Taint by Lana Del Rey.
No, and we've got a 4-4 tie.
Damn it.
You played the exact same game as John. You also got tripped up on Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish. Very pretty song, actually. But the new stuff gets you. And, John, you have qualified for the trip to see the Eagles at the Sphere. Congratulations.
Nice.
Paulie will get your information during the break. And for everyone in the chat who is going, Ocean Eyes, Billie Eilish, congratulations to all of you as well.
Sounds like a great song. I don't know that I'm familiar with
Not that one?
No.
Right. Paulie, you know that one, right?
I have heard that one, yes.
Pretty song. Very pretty.
I don't know that I would have got it on the spot playing the game.
But, yeah, I mean, you knew that it had to end in eyes, right? You figured that part out?
Yeah, I like Billie Eilish. I don't know. I haven't, dove in, really.
All right, Paulie's going to do a little early Ryder report since we have Mike Shildt coming up at the top of the hour. Are you putting in one of the most unusual heists? We were talking about it. We finally get to it today.
Yes, missed it yesterday. Very random heist, and want to talk about a college football player that is older than Woods and you.
All right.
I'm a fan.
We'll get to all of that coming up next. Don't go away. Ben and Woods continuing on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan. Right now, though, this time of year, things can get pretty dicey in San Diego. When the winds kick up, when it gets hot, the brush gets dry, wildfires can devastate our community. There's sometimes nothing you can do to prevent them, but there are some things that, SDG&E can do. And when the winds get high, they can call for a public safety power shutoff to try to prevent those wildfires.
It makes me very nervous this time of year, every single year. So we have to do our part, right? And obviously SDG&E doesn't want to cut your power. They do it because they want to keep you safe. So you need to have an emergency kit, a plan, and make sure they have your most up-to-date contact information. Should they need to contact you in case of an emergency, this is preventative, guys, just to make sure you're covered. Sign up for outage notifications at sdge.com/notify or download the Alerts by SDG&E app. Being prepared is all of our responsibility.
You're probably wondering, how do they decide, right? Are you wondering that?
I know that it's not random.
No, it's not. They have a team of meteorologists who forecast 10 days in advance. They refine their forecast, and then as you get closer, you'll start getting alerts up to 1-2 days in advance, and you'll also be notified when the power goes back on, so hey, I can go back to the house and get back to life as normal. But you won't know unless you see it coming. Make sure you go to sdgne.com/notify and download the Alerts by SDG&E app.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
I always like to lean on your English major sometimes. One of my favorite quotes attributed to Mark Twain, although I don't know if he actually said. A lot of things were attributed to Mark Twain. There are three kinds of lies: lies, damned lies, and statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a quote that definitely tells you that numbers can be used to mislead. And they can be you can throw a ton of numbers at someone. It's hard to actually glean any truth out of those numbers. But one of our tier ones in the chat, Jimmy Jam, was expressing some doom earlier that the Padres have not been able to beat the good teams in baseball. And I think we all kind of feel like that is true.
Sure.
If you look at their record against teams with winning records, especially on the road, it's not good. But I can throw stats at you. I can tell you factually that the Padres are 500 or better this year against every National League playoff team except the Dodgers. And, Jimmy Jam came back at me. He said, well, how about the second half of the season? The Padres are slumping now. Those early season, in the second half of the season, Padres have played. Here's the teams they've played that have winning records. They swept the Mets. They took 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks. They took 2 of 3 from Boston. They swept San Francisco. They got swept by the Dodgers. They took 3 of 4 from San Francisco. They took 2 of 3 from Los Angeles. They lost 2 of 3 to Seattle. And then they lost 2 of 3 to Cincinnati and lost 2 of 3 to New York. So they have actually a winning record and have won more series in the second half against winning teams than they've lost.
Jimmy Jam's not wrong, though. It does feel
I can
that
throw
way.
the stats at you and tell you the Padres have had a winning record against teams with winning records in the second half. They've won more series than they've lost. They've done adequately against the playoff teams in the National League. Have they dominated playoff teams? But no one does.
What's killed us is the record against bad teams. That's what's killed
in the second half. Their record against bad teams has gotten much worse.
We beat up on the bad teams early.
Yeah, they lost the 3 against Baltimore, the 2 of 3 to Minnesota. That was punishing. They lost 2 of 3 to Miami earlier in the second half. They've actually dominated against the bad teams in the first half. They played better against the good teams in the second half. Now, the last 2 series against the Mets and the Reds haven't been their best. And, so if you want to say the trend is going poorly, you can, but it's such a long season. Trends could change. Trend could change next week, and you really want the trend to change and go upward when you get to the playoffs. So, you throw all these stats out there and you can't really draw conclusions as to whether the Padres are going to be good or bad in the playoffs. We just don't know.
You just don't know
at this point. So
I know I'll be watching and I know I'll be into
now
it.
Jimmy says makes me feel better hearing some of these stats. The thing is, it really shouldn't.
It shouldn't, right?
My stats are not really that relevant when it comes to the playoffs, and unfortunately.
I said to Jimmy Jam, I said, what if we go sweep the White Sox? Is everyone breathing a sigh of relief? I'm really not. It has no bearing on what we do.
What if they sweep the Brewers, though?
Right.
They took 2-3 in Milwaukee. That was the hardest series they had all season, and they won that one. I don't know.
What are the Brewers doing? Are they going for 100 wins? Or are they like, we're not gonna burn these dudes out right now? I don't know. Nobody.
Once they're locked in, what do they have to go?
Right. What are you playing for? So
100 wins doesn't get you anything.
100%. That's right. Get you nothing.
If 90 wins gets you the number one seed, then
take it.
So be it.
Yeah, you take it. I'll watch the games this weekend, but I won't be living and dying against the Chicago White Sox. I just won't. I'd like to see some guys I'd like to see Ryan O'Hearn get some knocks this weekend. He is dying.
Try to get him on track.
Get him on track. 100%.
I mean, you just look at the top teams in baseball. I mean, are the Mariners, are they really, really good? They have 84 wins. The Padres have 83. The Tigers have been great. They have 85 wins. The Padres have 83. The Red Sox have 83. The Astros have 84. The Dodgers have 86. I mean, in a long season, you know how much difference there is between 86 and 83 wins? Nothing, really. Statistically, in 162 games, that's nothing. All these teams have flaws and strengths.
Well,
they will match up in the playoffs and see whose flaws and whose strengths win out in October.
Jay said we need to be crushing this team. The White Sox or the Padres? I don't know. I'm assuming he means the White Sox. If you crush the White Sox, it does not guarantee you that you're going to go in and win a playoff series. It just doesn't.
No, and
if you get your butt kicked,
it doesn't mean you're
going to lose.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing, and you got to kind of lean on history here as it pertains to the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's check traffic. Paulie's going to give us some Rindle Report headlines on the other side next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This traffic report is driven by Sedano Ford and Sedano Lincoln in beautiful downtown La Mesa. Got a few problems here. One of them is a crash blocking lanes eastbound 52 just past Cuyamaca. Also northbound 5 before Main and Division. Got a stalled vehicle. It's been pushed over to the right shoulder. And a car fire northbound 805 before University. That's over to the right shoulder. San Diego luxury awaits at Sedano Lincoln in La Mesas with the September to Remember event. Lease a 2025 Lincoln Corsair Premier for $449 a month. Visit La Mesa's biggest inventory. You'll be glad you did. For more details, visit SedanoLincoln.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Rindle Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Rindle Report with Paul Rindle.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Rindle Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
All right. Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Happy Friday.
Let's we can touch on Thursday Night Football last night. We previewed the game in our NFL threesome. Bills and Dolphins. Dolphins were 0-2. Bills were hosting the game. They were 2-0. The spread came into effect. I believe it was 11.5 at the start of the game. Bills favored by 11.5. They won by 10.
It wasn't a backdoor cover either. Miami kept it close.
They kept it very close.
They played with the Bills. Moral victory.
Ooh.
Yeah, 0-3. Hard to make Miami fans happy. But
Tua threw for 146, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Driving down to potentially tie the game, moving the ball pretty well, and followed his eyes, like they said on the broadcast, and the linebacker jumps him. There's the Tua pick that you can almost count on almost every single game. It's a rough watch, man. And they're now 0-3 and firmly implanted in the chamber.
You've seen Josh Allen's had to wear the
visor.
The visor because of the shot he took to the nose. And he says it's not uncomfortable, but it gets kind of loud and echoey and hot in there.
I
and
bet.
he just has to get used to that part of it.
I loved what they said on the broadcast.
Like an astronaut.
They said he wore it when he was at Wyoming, and they said he wore it because it, quote, looks swaggy. And then he got to the league, and he's like, well, I'm not going to be the swaggy-looking quarterback. I don't want to get my ass kicked by the veterans, so he took it off, and they had to put it back on again. Great game, great product. The NFL is really, as they do.
I forgot about it in the first half, like when it started, and then we did our members stream, Woodsy, and then I got back, and I was like, oh yeah, there's football still on.
It was good.
Watched, like the end of the third quarter and all
the
the fourth
primetime
quarter.
games this year have all been pretty decent
They
so far.
really have, man.
No real turds, I don't think.
No, not yet. Give it time. There
Not
will
too
be.
bad.
Yeah.
All right. I guess one quick note also in the NFL before I get to our next story. Page 6 is reporting that they believe, their sources are saying, Adele could be the front runner for the Super Bowl halftime show in San Francisco, the Bay Area, next February.
Who did I think it was? I thought they had already.
They haven't announced it officially yet.
Jelly Roll.
Well, everybody thinks, I think Taylor Swift is the
Taylor
favorite.
Swift was the favorite. That's
Metallica has gotten a lot of play.
Their Bay Area
being a Bay Area band. Miley Cyrus's name has been thrown out there, and now Page 6 saying Adele has been in very close talks with the NFL and Apple Music to host that. But it should be coming here in the next week to 3 weeks, somewhere in early to mid-October, I think, is when they usually announce the Super Bowl halftime show.
I'll say proudly, I'm an Adele fan.
I also
I am. I don't know that she would do
well
for the
fan.
halftime show, though.
I can't imagine big pyrotechnics and hundreds of dancers with the kind of songs
I don't know that her
Adele
style fits.
sings.
Yeah.
Would it be a beautiful concert? Would I be there for it? Sure.
Beautiful medley of sad songs.
It would have to be very different than the normal production of a Super Bowl halftime show, though.
I agree.
I mean, when it's you're talking to Metallica or Adele.
Give me Metallica.
Two very different,
or both together.
Yeah. Oh, now you're talking.
It's kind of what they used to do, at least.
Yeah,
they used to have a lot more
stick dance. It's boring. It is it's boring. I think, but very talented.
If she can get those pipes going on a good stadium speaker, and it's San Francisco, it's a brand new stadium, so I'm sure they get a good sound system.
Oh, yeah.
It sound awfully good.
Finally, or not finally, but next story here. I told you there is a college football player older than both of you guys. This guy was going around viral this week. Division III college, Lycoming College.
What is it?
Lycoming.
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 Okay. Lycoming College.
Lycoming
Where is
College.
this?
Lycoming.
Where's Lycoming College?
Where is Lycoming College?
I don't know.
I'm surprised.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
What's their mascot, Ben? The Lycoming.
They're the Warriors.
The Warriors. All right, makes sense.
Colors are blue,
thought maybe the
yellow,
Trojans
and gold. Anyways, they're the news.
Okay.
You just got it.
Jesus. Here's the social media post from Front Office Sports, a legitimate outlet. They said Division III Lycoming College has a 58-year-old freshman defensive lineman in the 80s. His name is Tom. I think it's Cillo. Chilo.
Okay.
Tom, in the 80s, quit high school football to do drugs. That's all it says. That alone is hilarious to me. Just quit high school football to do drugs.
Why are you quitting, Tom?
Drugs. I got to go do drugs. Then he worked for a city's streets and parks department for over 30 years.
Okay.
And he is now fulfilling his dream of being a college football player. Still got that eligibility. And he is playing Division III college football.
On the line.
Lineman.
It looks tough.
Let me see.
Yeah, we got him
6 foot 227.
God dang, I'm not messing with that guy.
But yeah,
that guy's got some old man strength.
Bro, there is no question.
Shoving these 19-year-old
Look at his big ass arms and look at his calves.
He's a big dude.
He matches yours.
He's the only offensive lineman in college football who smells like Aqua Velva.
Oh, no doubt. Thomas Cillo. Man, what a badass.
Remarkable.
To do drugs. Why'd you quit?
Not fell out of love with the game, had to go to school for,
but
start his career.
My dad got sick.
Yeah, nothing like that. Just quit to do drugs.
That's incredible.
And
man.
now he is living out his dream. Any chance you could play any sport, Division 3 at age 58?
Ben could play golf, Division 3.
I could play golf.
today.
Yes, I would be bad compared to the kids
Would you?
nowadays. Oh, they hit the ball.
Yeah, they hit the ball so far. No, I couldn't.
Be like
I couldn't.
120 yards behind everybody on every hole.
I couldn't hang at any sport, even in Division 3. I could go. I could go play an inning at first base. I wouldn't embarrass myself, but I couldn't hit at that level. I don't think at Division 3. I think they probably throw too hard. And have too much good stuff.
I think so.
But yeah, good for that guy, man. That's badass.
Finally, wrap up the story. The very bizarre heist in Florida earlier this week. Florida man at it again. This happened at Disney Springs. That's in Orange County, Florida. And it's one of the Disney parks. They have this restaurant on the man-made lake or pond called Paddlefish. Kind of looks like the old, the steamboat or the houseboat,
Big Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
Steamboats.
You can have brunch, lunch, dinner, whatever. They have patio seating, etc. And according to the report here, a man snuck into the restaurant by scuba diving. He had all his equipment and gear and scuba dove under the restaurant and got inside. Was able to hide his scuba gear, tuck it away. There were employees counting money in the office after they had closed, and he said he'd tied them up and stole between $10,000 and $20,000 in cash.
That's quite terrifying.
And then got back
a nice seafood dinner in cash anymore.
Got back in his scuba gear, swam out from underneath the restaurant, and
this makes no
missing.
sense.
Got away.
This makes no sense. If he was going to go in and presumably had some sort of weapon to threaten them and tie them up, why not just walk in at that point? Why go to all the trouble of scuba diving in? This isn't a bank heist. He didn't need to get into the vault. Presumably, you just walk right into the restaurant, go back to the back, and then pull your gun
Steal
and say,
the money.
Get in the corner. I'm taking all the money. Why scuba dive in?
Surreptitiously, you're coming in surreptitiously. It's the element of surprise.
Just to avoid the alarms that you set off when you
want to pull a Mission
just
Impossible.
Pretend you're going to the bathroom and you got confused and you ended up in the money counting. Why is there a money? This is a restaurant, right? This is a fish restaurant.
They got $20,000. It's
not a casino.
It's wild.
$20,000. That means probably
10
what?
to 20,000 is what
you
they
scuba
believe.
dive in, so you could
80% of their
scuba dive
customers are paying
out.
cash at a restaurant in the year 2025 at Disney when everyone's on vacation.
Tell us
they're
more.
just bringing massive amounts of cash.
Tell us more about how you would have robbed the steamboat.
Don't know. Just not
Easy,
like
Danny
that.
Ocean.
All right, Shildt, next.
Managers report. Don't go away. Ben and Woods, last hour of the week on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final road series of the regular season for your San Diego Padres begins later this afternoon here in San Diego as the Padres take on the Chicago White Sox. And joining us right now for the final regular season Manager's Report of the year. The Manager's Report, refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925, is Padres manager Mike Shildt. And Mike, I first of all want to say thank you sincerely for all the time that you spent with us and our Tier 1 listeners every other week, all season long. Obviously, it kind of goes up and down, but you're a good dude for doing it, and I know our listeners appreciate it quite a bit.
It's my privilege to do it. Listen, year's gone quick. I enjoy our time together. It's good to talk Padre baseball and be able to connect with you and our fan base. And also, I need to thank Eco Water SoCal for their sponsorship and their support of the show as well.
Very nice. Okay, so this is probably the last time we'll talk to you before, hopefully, the playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks. And I know you got some regular season to focus on first, but I am curious. Baseball is such an interesting sport, and you guys play for so long all summer, and it's all about the long term. And then you get to the playoffs, and it's about you got to win, like it's football all of a sudden, and every game is absolutely critical. When you go into the playoffs, and you guys went in last year, do you do anything different, or are you trying to keep things as much the same as possible as you kind of approach the postseason? How do you approach it as a manager?
Yeah, I believe that in order to get to the postseason, you have to normalize excellence in what you do in preparation. And, if you get to a certain point in the season, or you get to a playoffs and you feel like you've got to do something more, you probably hadn't done what you were supposed to do in order to have gotten there. And the body of work for the everyday being important and the most important game of the year that particular day mindset, really does lend you to not only getting there, but when you do get there, normalizing. Now, that being said, clearly, the games are a little different in a sense of, it's you got to go. You got to figure out a way to shake hands and move on and win series. And that's one of the reasons I consistently talk about the importance of winning series and getting better as the series goes, and recognizing what's taking place and giving yourself the best chance to win a series, because that's what it's going to take to advance to get to the playoffs, advance in the playoffs, and win a World Series. So, but the way you operate during some of the playoff games and this time of year can be a little different in the sense of how you navigate, because there's real urgency to each game.
Yeah, there is. And I do, as a fan, Shildt, I'm watching the game yesterday and I'm like, okay, I don't know. I feel like we're in, 99.8% chance to make the playoffs this year. That feels pretty good. Pretty excited about that. For you, having to manage these last 9 games, keeping guys healthy, keeping them refreshed, but yet also keeping them dialed in, locked in on, getting their work in, hitting good pitches, making good decisions on the base paths, things like that. How difficult is that to navigate the last 9 or 10 games of the year?
Not difficult. I mean, like I said, we've gone back to spring training throughout the course of the season. Again, normalized how we compete. The guys that come in since the trade deadline, it fit right into how we think about playing and their dedication and preparation and competition. And so it's really just go out and continue to play. And always, I just love the way Toddy summarized it. I use it a lot, but just do what the game calls for, and the game it's the best shot we can take every day.
There's a narrative that the Padres haven't played as well against the better teams. Now, I just went through the stats, and every National League playoff team right now, except the Dodgers, you guys have a 500 or better record against. So I don't know that that's entirely true, but do you see any difference between when you guys are going up against, the playoff type teams versus the ones that are not playoff type teams?
Well, I mean, listen, there's teams that are going to be in the playoffs are clearly teams that have better records and have had success. So, that number's pretty interesting to me. It feels right to me that outside all the teams that are in the playoffs that we have competed against in the league, National League, we have overall winning records. So feels pretty good. We take that, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think so. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything once you get to a best of 3 or a best of 5 series. It'll all come down to kind of how your players are playing in that moment and how the other team's players are playing in that moment. And I guess that's what we're all looking forward to here in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. No question about that.
And I was thinking about the beginning of the season, and I've had a lot of fans, in the chat and stuff this morning. Like, are we expected to believe that this team is just going to flip a switch? And I thought about it, and Ben had a couple of stats about it this morning. Had some really good flip switch moments this year where you've gone on a little bit of a run. And I thought, well, if you end the season in the postseason like you started the season, you're going to be the World Series champion. Like that's it. There is the ability to do it. And it is a different roster, and there is wear and tear. But when you guys look at bookending your season, do you think this team has that ability, Shildt, to just turn it on? Come October here in 10 days or so.
Yeah, I do. I completely think that's the case. Yeah, I mean, when you say turn on, I understand. We started out with like a house of fire, and that was a high bar that we set, and clearly we want to continue to maintain and work towards that bar. But yeah, I absolutely feel like we can, proverbial catch fire and just take this thing down. So I do believe that. But you've done something well over the course of a season to be where we're at now. So I feel like the consistency, while clearly everybody would like it, including myself, even to be a little better. We're always looking for better, but the body works pretty good. And, let's just go play winning baseball and consistent baseball. And, we do want to be clearly at our best, and I expect that to happen, from here on out.
Mike, I know fans a little worried, about Mike King after that last performance. He's trying to get back. How do you feel like, where he is in terms of, will there be enough time to get him locked in and ready for the playoffs? How did he kind of recover from that rough outing against the Mets this week?
Has recovered well. I mean, the last couple of days of, it sounds like he's done well, and talking to Michael, it looks good. Listen, it's Michael King, and we have a lot of confidence in him. That they put a lot of good at-bats together. That club swings the bat well, especially against righties. And, Michael's stuff was good. The metrics bore out, the shapes. But, the fact of the matter is, it's still about, and always will be about, execution. And, just too many mistakes that they made him pay for. And, balls flying out of that ballpark. But as far as concern level, not exceptionally high. I trust the body of work on Michael and trust him to be able to go perform. But we'll continue to gather information here in, a couple more days when he takes the mound on Sunday.
Well, big start for Dylan Cease tonight. Shildt going back to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, watching an uneven year, still 200 Ks. I mean, nasty stuff, some of the nastiest in baseball. Is Dylan Cease pitching for a playoff rotation right now? Is he out to prove himself the last couple of starts to get, maybe one of those first 3?
Yeah, I think that, everybody's in competition, but we do know what we have, and, the stuff plays that Dylan has. And, he's been pitching really better more recently, consistently, and excited to have him pitch tonight and optimistic about him moving forward.
Like this number 3 you've added to the lineup recently. Jackson Merrill has really turned it on lately. I don't know. I know we talked all year long about, what's kind of Jackson been doing, and you mentioned that the injuries and stuff. So now that he has turned it on, what are you seeing differently from Jackson Merrill?
Getting back to good pitches, swinging at good pitches. Jackson's an aggressive hitter, but he's really, really in the zone, but he's driving the baseball the other way. He's in his legs, and he's just trusting this beautiful swing and just staying on the baseball. And when he does that, like most hitters, he's in a great spot. And it's good to see Jackson, being able to do what he's capable of at this time of year.
Did he ask you to grow a goatee?
No, he didn't. He didn't ask. I should probably try.
How would that go, by the way?
What's that?
How would that go, by the way?
Have you ever had facial hair?
Yeah, at the beginning of the season last year, they did a mustache for Mr. Seidler.
Yep.
and that wasn't great. I was honored to honor him.
Of course.
I don't know how. I mean, he would have laughed in a good natured way, but I don't really have the ability to grow the connector, so it's
same.
It would not be a good look. I can make an effort at it, but I don't think anybody really wants to see it.
I know. I tried it earlier in the year, but it made about 3 days.
The connector, I've never had any facial hair in my life.
It's the connector that connects the stash.
No, the goatee from the mustache to the bottom.
Down.
See, I can't grow a mustache even at all.
I can't really do the connector either. Shildt, we've got that in common. Certainly, one thing we haven't really talked about this week very much is, I think we're all forgetting there's a potential to get Xander Bogaerts back for the playoffs. So. What's his update on him? And then, he's such a pro. He's been in World Series. He won World Series. He's been in the playoffs. He's such a good guy to have around. But him being in the lineup and being able to contribute at shortstop too, how's that looking?
Gaining optimism every day with Bogey. He's been in Arizona since he left on Sunday. When we went to New York, he went to Arizona. That was a travel day for him. And, every day this week he's gotten, some real heavy workload, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a little lighter day yesterday. But, the summary of it is he's doing almost every baseball activity we'd want him to do. And, getting a lot of at-bats from the, the guys over in Arizona that are there participating in what they call bridge camp and now instructional league starting, I think. But, he's getting a lot of at-bats, getting his ground balls. He's getting on the bases. So he's getting closer, and he's recovering well. The thing that was really, fired us up and we were excited about was, he had a more of an aggressive day, and then the next day felt good. Had another aggressive day, so back-to-back aggressive, a lot of more intensity rather. And then the following day felt even better. So the recovery component has been favorable for Xander, and that's clearly good news. And, we'll see and make sure he's still progressing. And, to your point, he's a guy that we do rely on. He's been a guy that's been out for a while, and, we've been able to do some things and get a little bit creative with Crony going over to short, Louis going to second, and that's been good, and creates a little more opportunity for another left-handed bat in there. But you are talking about a guy in Bogey that has been a mainstay in our lineup the last couple of years that's contributed to winning and has 2 world championships under his belt, and those kind of experiences and that kind of player is going to be good to get back.
Crony has been so unsung. I think he really has. His play at shortstop, Shildt, has been, I don't know what the numbers say, all that, but like I've watched the games. He's been an unsung hero for this team.
Yep.
I think this season. So wanted to give him his kudos and credit. Always willing to go wherever you need him to go, hit wherever you need him to hit. Those guys are probably
get
pretty
hit whenever you
get
need
hit.
him to
Get hit when he needs to wear one. Those guys are so valuable and probably a bit of a manager's dream at times to just be able to plug and play him.
Oh, no question about it. And I'm glad, I don't do it enough. And I catch myself because we have such a talented team that, on any given night, people are contributing and get their just accolades. And then there's Crony that just, shows up, and whether it's making a nice play or having a quality at bat, or as you mentioned, occasionally, wearing one, or, going over and sliding over and playing short, or, hey, listen, it works out. You need to go play first tonight. Yep, I got that. You need some ground balls? No, I got it. He's just a winning player. He's a get it done guy, and he just goes about his business. And you're right. Those guys, they're dreams for managers, but more importantly, they're guys like that are consistent for winning teams.
Big time.
Mike, I also wanted to ask you about Ryan O'Hearn, and I don't know if you saw the quotes, but he told Ace Man yesterday, he said, I know I'm playing like poop. I can't say the word on the radio. He's been in a slump. I mean, we talk about players in slumps before, like when Manny. We know Manny. We know he's coming out of it. We don't really know Ryan as well because he's such a new addition. Man, I know he was an all-star with Baltimore. How's he kind of dealing with it, and what are you seeing from Ryan? And is there anything that you guys can do to kind of get him going and contributing the way he obviously wants to be contributing?
Yeah, he cares a lot. I mean, he fits right in that regard. Super high care factor, really competitive, wants to do well for the team, and there for a while, he's hadn't gotten as many results clearly more recently, but he went through a stretch of about 3 games where he's barreling balls and just wasn't finding any grass or able to find any holes, and so what can we do for him? We know he's going to come out of it. He's an experienced guy. He's had put together a great year. Keep playing. Let him go. Let him get out there, and we're seeing a bunch of righty starters in next over this series and next series, and we'll get him in there, and he'll get out of there. Victor and the group of they'll do their part to help him, and of course I'm going to pat him on the back and continue to encourage him, and before you know it, we'll blink and we'll be talking about how he's helping us win games.
All right. Well, I mean, and you probably can do that. Last thing from me. Do you care what the Dodgers do the rest of the way? Obviously, you need help if you're going to chase him down. Or are you more concerned about the San Diego Padres? And if that means wild card and going to Chicago in the first round, so be it. Or do you care what the Dodgers do now?
Yeah, I can't say I don't care. I mean, I'm more time, energy focused on what we can do and take care of. And but yeah, we need to take care of our business, and it's nice to be in the hunt to win our division. It's an expectation we have. We'd like to be in a little better spot, clearly, but we still are in arm's reach. And it's ultimately how we take care of our business. And we are in a place where we do need a little bit of help to for them to lose a little bit. But we can't we'll follow it, track it, but as far as spending really energy or attention to it, other than what the final score is, it's really about our final score, and we'll take a glimpse of what they're doing too.
Well, good luck this weekend in Chicago. Even better luck if you do end up having to go back there in a couple of weeks. And again, thank you so much for this entire season. We do appreciate it, and I know all of our listeners appreciate it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a privilege to speak with you guys, and look forward to the next time.
Thanks, Shildt.
That is the manager. The manager's report, refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. It was nice of Mike Shildt to give Eco Water a little shout out.
A little double shout out
as well. All right, what did you think? We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back, react to what you heard from the manager, and then we will wrap things up here today at 10 o'clock as we go toward another weekend of Padres baseball here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Also going toward another weekend of daily fantasy with Prize Picks. You want to set your lineups. Watching baseball this weekend. They are the official daily fantasy sports partner of your San Diego Padres. Put your favorite players in a lineup between 2 and 6 players. Pick just against the stat projections, more or less, than he's RBIs, runs plus hits from RBIs, hits, strikeouts for pitchers, innings pitch. Whatever you're watching, you can set your lineup while you're watching sports on Prize Picks and win real money for being right. You watch a ton of sports, make that knowledge work for you by winning real money. Thousands of dollars. I think I was being asked by my buddy yesterday. He says, have you really taken money out of your account? I said, like 3 times. I've taken like $200 out, $100 out, $200 out over the last year when I win money. It's pretty easy. It's very quick when you take money out. It's Apple Pay, Venmo, MasterCard. They've got various different ways to do it. And then when you load your account, make sure you take advantage of the offer. When you put $5 in and play your first $5 lineup, they're going to give you $50 in free play just by using the code KWFN. So $50 from them, $5 from you by using the code KWFN when you download the Prize Picks app and get started. And, of course, the football weekend is here. Use that max discount on Patrick Mahomes, more than 1/2 of 1 yard. Stick that into a lineup as well to get the winning started with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Thanks again to Mike Shildt. This hour on The Fan brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store and everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. I don't know. What did you take out of that interview with Mike Shildt?
Nothing I didn't really already know, other than I think the Xander news is interesting. You know, them grinding him pretty hard and him responding well. It would be a big boon, big lift to the team to get Xander back. The production. He was good in the playoffs last year, was he not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know.
Well, everyone was until the last 2 days.
Correct. Stabilizes the roster a little bit. Experience in the postseason, all that stuff. You know, how much do you quantify it? I don't know. It's all about how guys perform. Again, there's nothing you're going to get that's super enlightening about the plan. You can say all you want, Benny, that, well, it's, we're an arm's length, but at this point, I really just want these guys to try to get as sharp as they can and stay as healthy as they can over the last 9. I really do.
I think for me, he said the right things about Michael King, but I didn't sense that he has any better idea as the rest of us, whether Michael King's going to pitch well on Sunday or not.
He wasn't wrong, though, about the shapes and all that. Like, we saw that, and the people that are really good at breaking that stuff down said, like, Saris was like, no, I mean, he just got hit. He got hit and a little flat, but the shapes were good. The velocity was the same. Like, it's nothing that would jump off the page.
The reality is that Michael King could absolutely snap into form in the next couple of starts and pitch, like a demon for a month in the playoffs and lead the Padres to a World Series. But I think Mike Shildt is a baseball guy, also knows the reality that watching you, Darvish, kind of go through it, that, most of these guys have a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, a month of ups and downs as they're kind of trying to get back into form, and ups and downs aren't really going to be good enough right now. They need every start to be pretty good either dominant or at least good enough where you give yourself a chance to win. And those down starts, if they come from Darvish or Michael King, could be season enders at this point. And I don't know that there's really any more knowledge than we have. Like, how are those guys going to perform when asked to perform in the playoffs? Can they do it consistently?
Look, he's going to roll with his guys.
Of course, he has to.
That's it. He's got no choice.
He has to.
He's got no choice. What are his alternatives?
I thought your question about Dylan Cease was a good one. Is he pitching for a playoff spot?
Audition, man.
And the answer was almost a surprising
yes. Yeah,
kind of.
That kind of surprised me as well from Shildt. If Dylan Cease locks in, who's better? If he locks in, and really with this team in the playoffs, Benny, what do you need from Dylan Cease? You need 5 innings.
I mean, you're right. What we've seen from Nick Pivetta, who much of the season has been one of the best starters in the National League.
Yep.
What we know of Michael King, what he is capable of doing, being one of the best starters in the National League, and what we've seen from Dylan Cease in his career of being one of the nastiest best pitchers in baseball. What are the odds that all 3 of those guys lock in for a month and do it? Like they find the best of themselves for a month? Probably pretty low based on what we've seen and based on their health all season long. But we're not asking them to do anything that they haven't done before. We're not asking Matt Waldron to come in and throw 5 shutouts. We're asking 3 guys who have been really, really good pitchers either recently or within the last year, go out. And if they do that, if the Padres get dominant efforts from those guys, then they'll win a World Series.
Correct.
I just think right now it would be asking a lot to assume that they're going to get that sort of stuff. Dylan Cease has it in him. Can he find it?
But this
the
is
consistency he needs.
Again, this is not the cross our fingers playoff with Jake Arrieta and Vince Velasquez. It's not.
It's not even the
close.
Cross your fingers with Sean Manaea and Mike Clevenger.
Right.
And
Oh yeah. This is not that.
This is better than that.
Yeah, this is not that. And I meant, the run leading up to that year with Velasquez when we just ran out of pitching. But then the next year with Manaea and Clevenger, and that was a fingers crossed. Oh my God, please get ground balls. Please get lazy pop flies. Please be off your game. I'm just counting on these guys to do what they've done for most of their career. And if that happens, great. And I like, our chances as much as I like anybody else's chances. It's not been the most inspiring season of Padres baseball. You're not wrong when you say that. The trends aren't necessarily pointing up to these guys ripping the cover off the ball. But I'm going to fall back to, again, good contact and an elite bullpen. And that's what I am holding on to, like Rose in Titanic. That's me. I'm on the door. And those are the 2 things I'm holding on to the most.
And teams like the Mets are holding on to big boppers, and well, that's what they're holding on to.
The Dodgers
if they get their home run guys hitting a bunch of home runs, they can win games.
Sure. Yeah, the Dodgers are hoping that their starters continue to shove. With
the bullpen at least, holds it together enough to not kill their season.
Correct. Because I'll tell you, there wasn't a Dodger fan comfortable last night. Not one Dodger fan with a 2-1 lead with Kopech and those guys coming in. They were not comfortable. And I think with Padres fans, you got a couple of guys in there that you're like, all right, I feel pretty good. Now, I think Jeremiah Estrada needs to get back on track. We're not going to go far with him serving up the long ball. But you got Mason Miller. You got Robert Suarez, who's, I know, I can get a little dicey at times. I feel fairly confident in it right now. Yeah. Adrian Morejon, stud.
What are the Brewers are hoping that their consistent
devil magic
continues and that their kind of lack of stars, playoff experience doesn't come back to haunt them.
See, Jimmy Jam says this is desperate strategy. It's not. It's not desperate. This is not desperation. Do you not remember desperation? Mike Clevenger and Sean Manaea was desperation. This is not. This is, can Michael King lock it in as he has so many times? Can Dylan Cease lock it in as he has a track record of doing so?
But
can
not in the playoffs.
Right. Can Nick Pivetta stay locked in? Can Adrian Morejon stay locked in? Can Mason Miller stay locked in? These are guys with proven track records. This doesn't feel desperate to me. Desperate was that back then. That was desperation. This is like, all right, well, we will
Or Ryan Weathers making a start in the 2020 playoffs.
Right, 100%, man.
His first start.
Right. Or the relief appearance, right? Yeah.
Not start, but yeah.
You're outing. That was like, man, we are throwing stuff at a wall. This is like, I just hope my guys can get to where
be my guys
that they've been, So I'm as pessimistic as the next person around. But again, what I'm clinging to is good bullpen
and don't
contact.
Don't Don't mistake the way that we look as the Padres having a chance as being overly optimistic.
No, I'm not over. No, I am not overly optimistic. No. I'm not. And how could there's not one team in the playoffs that should be overly optimistic. Not one. Not one of them is like, this is 100% our year. 100%.
It's funny. I saw Blue Jays fans kind of panicking. The Yankees pulled within 3 games.
Yeah.
And they're kind of worried about the Yankees chasing them down. The Yankees are in the same position the Padres are right now. 3 games down, and they don't have a tiebreaker.
Correct.
For the Padres, we're going, let's just go wild card.
Yeah.
And, Blue Jays guys are, oh, no, we're in trouble now. We're only 3 games up. I mean, things change. In 2 days, everything can look different.
I really feel this year, of all years, that the World Series winner will be a surprise. I do. I feel like this is the year where you're going to go, holy crap. I'm surprised by this. Why not us? Why not? Why not?
I don't agree because
I don't think it's going to be chalky.
I don't think there is any chalk. Though. I don't know there is a surprising. Who would be a surprising winner?
We would.
You
Padres.
Think the Padres would be a surprising
Mariners,
Blue Jays?
I don't know that the Mariners would shock me right now.
It wouldn't shock you, but they've never done it.
The season, heading into the season,
this is the perfect year for anybody to win.
That's what I'm saying.
If the Dodgers win the World Series, that was the way the script was.
The Red Sox, I think, would be kind of a shocking winner. I think the Yankees would be kind of a shocking winner at this point.
Yeah.
Well, again, like I just said, it depends on what you're looking at because I think 2 of us picked the Red Sox to win the World Series.
I did. Yeah.
I think I picked them to be in there.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about back in February making decisions or talking about making predictions back in July when you've had 3 months and you're like, this team hasn't really played their best baseball or anything.
K-Law says we had a couple people say the Brewers.
Been the best team in the National League all year.
I've seen the Brewers in the playoffs, though. I've seen it, and they've had good years. And I've seen it, with better talent. I've seen it. So they have a lot they're not comfortable right now. Trust me. They're not comfortable. It would surprise me, Ben. The Cubs, I think, would be a surprise winner this year. So again, I do think it's going to be a team that I don't know that it's going to be Dodgers, Yankees in the World Series again. It
funny
could be,
because almost at any point in this season, you could have said, oh, yeah, the Cubs look like the team to beat.
100%.
Oh, the Mets look like the team to beat.
Lately, it's the Phillies.
The Padres look like the team to beat.
Yep.
We saw that early. The Phillies look like the team to beat. The Dodgers going into the year look like the team to beat.
K-Law says, watch the Astros win it. 100%. 100%. They just quietly under the radar kind of just whack.
Without Yordan Alvarez?
Yeah, Correa, Mashes, Altuve, who hasn't hit all year. He's gonna,
you blink in October and you look up and they're in the ALCS and you're like,
every time.
Of course they are.
Every time.
We're always kind of surprised that they're doing it again. I don't want it to be the Astros again.
I don't either.
Someone take care of the Astros.
Yeah,
please.
take care of
Mariners this weekend. At least beat them, win the division,
You're
make
right.
it harder for them.
No one is talking about the Astros. So they're like, yes.
Riddled with injuries.
Yeah,
they have been all season long, but they're going to be in the tournament almost certainly. I mean, they could miss out still. The Guardians are not giving up.
Yep.
They're still battling. So it'll be interesting on Monday.
Well, Dominic said it. I mean, Bob Uecker actually knowing the Brewers road win-loss record from heaven would be the most shocking. Yeah.
We could be here Monday morning. Padres could win 3 from the White Sox. Dodgers could lose 3 to the Giants and sitting in a tie atop the division.
We do this all over again.
Which I almost don't even want at this point. Of course, I do want it, but it's like I've made my peace kind of. Like, I don't know.
If that happens, they better win the MFing division.
If this happens, that time.
Because I don't have a 5th time of, hey, the Padres are only 1 game out.
It doesn't seem possible, but it certainly is. Absolutely,
Giants
possible.
have played better than just about anybody in baseball over the last couple of weeks.
2 worst records in baseball. I mean, it could happen. It sounds like the most shocking thing in the world that we'd wake up Monday morning and the Padres are tied for the division title. This is baseball. you shouldn't ever be surprised at anything like that happening.
Tyrese says, if we sweep the Sox and the Dodgers drop the next 3, I'll buy all 3 of you breakfast. Sounds good. I feel like if that happens, you should buy us a car. I think breakfast is kind of half-assed.
He's right, though. It isn't as unbelievable as it seems in this moment. It totally isn't unbelievable.
Anyway.
All right, we got one segment left. Anyone in for a super sexy Saturday stink fist?
Always.
Haven't done that
love a
yet.
good
College
stink
football
fist.
lineup for tomorrow. Final thoughts coming up with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right, last time this week, though, we remind you to do the responsible thing for your family. If you've got wife or husband, you've got kids, and you don't have a will or a trust, what's going to happen when you're gone? Did you know that if you have kids and you don't name a guardian, that your brother or sister can't come in and go, well, I'll take care of their kids? They can't decide. The state will decide who gets your children. It's kind of shocking and kind of scary, but you can avoid all that with one simple online process.
That's why I listed you as my kid's guardian.
Taylor? Even
Both
Taylor?
of them. Both
Really?
of them. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're a trustworthy guy.
So should I put in my will who now gets your kids in case I'm gone?
Correct.
Too?
That's
Okay.
exactly. That's how
Paul?
it works. And I do a lot worse than Paulie and Megan. I'll tell you right now. Go to trustandwill.com. Use the code radio20 when you check out. You get 20% off, which is a great deal in and of itself. Super easy to do. They walk you through it. It's online. Saves you a lot of hassle, a lot of trouble. It's already going to be a lot of hassle and trouble when you pass away. Make sure your family is covered.
Use a trust to avoid probate court and the expenses and the fees. No lawyer involved. Simple online procedure. Takes 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever. Do it thoroughly, but you'll have the real documents in your hand at the end of the process. They'll mail them to you. Set them aside for a very rainy day that you hope doesn't come for a very long time by going to trustandwill.com. Use code radio20 at trustandwill.com.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All right, final 10 minutes of the week at Ben & Woods, and then we will be back on Monday morning for the final homestand and week of the regular season. Got my college football lineup for you coming up. First, our last check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This traffic report is driven by Sedano Ford and Sedano Lincoln in beautiful downtown La Mesa. Okay, this is more like it, guys. Crash has cleared on eastbound 52 past Cuyamaca, and really, we're not showing any other trouble spots and really not a lot of brake lights. Your new ride awaits at Sedano Ford in La Mesa. The September to Remember sales event is here. Lease a Ford F-150 STX for $429 a month. Biggest inventory awaits in La Mesa. For more details about these offers, visit SedanoFord.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready for some football?
Always ready for some football. Our super sexy Saturday schedule for college football fans. Give you your best lineup for the weekend, and actually pretty good matchups tomorrow. If you are a college football fan, they all have something in common. See if you can spot the similarities. Okay. 9 a.m. Number 17, Texas Tech versus number 16, Utah on Fox. It's the Big 12 opener for a pair of 3-0 teams with hopes of a conference title and a playoff appearance. The Utah Utes, 2.5-point favorites.
Wow.
Okay. 12:30. Number 22, Auburn at number 11, Oklahoma on ABC. It's the SEC opener for a pair of 3-0 teams with hopes of conference titles and a playoff appearance. The Sooners are 6.5-point favorites.
Ooh, is the next game going to be a pair of undefeated teams opening conference play?
You're so smart. 4:30 p.m., number 9, Illinois at number 19, Indiana on NBC and Peacock. The Big Ten opener for a pair of 3-0 teams with conference title and playoff hopes. The Hoosiers, 6.5-point favorites. And then at 8 p.m., if you want to stay up late, Michigan visiting number 25 USC on Fox.
Michigan State.
It's the Michigan State. Sorry, the Big Ten opener for a pair of 3-0 teams with conference title and playoff appearance hopes. The Trojans are 17.5-point favorites.
Wow. Yeah, I think my Irish can get on the board this week with a dub against Purdue. They're 25
old Pac-12 fan. You can do that. And don't forget, SDFC plays at 1:30 tomorrow at the Atlanta United, trying to extend their road winning streak to 8 games in a row.
And how could you possibly forget the San Diego State Aztecs taking on Cal, Ben, at midnight? on
7:30, I believe, tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium. And if San Diego State did a good job distributing all those tickets, hopefully will be a pretty big crowd. Cal is favored only by about
13.5.
13.5. So you can still get the Aztecs keeping it inside two touchdowns right now. Or if you like to go the other way and you think Cal's going to win by more than 2 touchdowns, you can go that way for the Golden Bears, who are 3-0 and undefeated.
I got him at 12.
You got him at 12?
Cal?
Yeah,
Cal.
probably smart.
Well, you definitely got it in before the line moved in the wrong direction. So that is a smart early bet if that's the way your money's going to go.
What's the agenda this weekend, Benjamin? You're playing golf
got some golf. Yeah, got
boy.
some golf this afternoon.
Giddy right now. Look at him. Big fancy dinner last.
Big fancy dinner last night. There will be no more big fancy dinners this weekend. I'm good for quite a while on the big fancy dinners for sure.
It looked really delicious. Probably
that just like fills you up for like weeks, right?
I don't want to talk about Paulie's weekend yet right now.
I will say in terms of like, it's not the most like having one carne asada burrito is like almost like more filling because you don't take a lot of bites of anything.
Okay.
But it's very interesting.
Did you hear what I said about Paulie's weekend?
No.
He's not going to have a good weekend.
I'm not.
Remember? Let's see if he remembers.
Paulie is...
What do I have to do tomorrow?
What does Paulie have to do tomorrow?
He's not moving yet.
He's not moving yet.
Not yet. Really?
No recollection. Come on.
Told you, like,
let's just wait.
3 or 4 days ago.
Come on.
Saturday. Paulie.
Paulie.
Got some. Oh, his dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
No, Brandon says shopping for furniture. That's already been did.
No.
Done did that.
Oh, yeah.
We got to put my dog down tomorrow morning. No. And yeah, it's tough. I've talked about it a lot, not a lot, but over the last couple of years, she's been dealing with a very rare like blood disease. And back in May, we actually thought we were losing her there. And she had a blood transfusion. It was her last ditch effort to try to save her. And we got, what was that, middle of May? So we got like 4+ months of borrowed time. And her body started to shut down. I've noticed over the last few days. Really, I noticed it pretty much the day after we made the appointment to have it done on Saturday. I started to notice, I'm like, her legs are just not working the way they used to. She's declining. And we don't want her to suffer or be in any pain. So we've made that very difficult decision.
Tomorrow's going to suck.
It's going to be the worst day.
I want to tell you it's going to be okay, and it is obviously.
I know
it's going
to be
okay,
and I know we're making the right decision.
Paulie, have you ever done a round table though?
I cried when I put my dog down, and I don't even have a heart. So
you don't even like dogs.
I can't even imagine how Paulie gets through this. So it's going to be tough, Paulie.
Yeah, that was my baby.
Tell you, yeah, it's not
I've had her for 9 years. I had her before I met Megan.
Yeah,
that was
the worst.
That's my baby girl.
Okay, but have you ever done a round table? Is what I want to know.
I have done a few round tables.
Nick says that was mean, making Ben feel bad about that. He's in the Nick. He no-called, no-showed us last night on a live stream. He's in the everybody's turn in the.
I will dedicate my best 7-iron this weekend, Paulie,
to Daphne.
To Daphne, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Oh, it's the worst, man.
It's awful.
Are you gonna do like the last meal for her and all that? I did that for my boy Max. I got him some Mickey D's. I took him on one last drive. Head out the window.
Today's our last full
day. It's like the worst day of my life.
I've been like over the whole week, dude, just randomly just bursting into tears.
I know.
I've thought about like, yeah, I'm going to probably swing by the store, get her some treats today on the way home. And
my wife is a lot like Ben.
You know what you can do, because our vet did this when I took Reggie in. You can give them the stuff that they can't have, like chocolate,
100%
stuff that makes them sick. Usually, you don't,
100%.
Don't have to worry about it. Just
my wife is a lot like Ben. She's like, okay, it's time. It's okay. Let's go. Let's get it done. And I'm sitting there on the couch. The first time I've ever put a dog down. It's the worst thing ever, but you're doing the right thing. And it doesn't feel like the right thing. It doesn't. No, but it is. It is the right thing.
You're just like, well, she looks okay today. Like
she's fine. I think she's going to be okay. I'd hate to do this too early. It's a horrible thing. I love you. I'm sorry. Love Megan. And you know, it's just the worst. So
I mean, dude, like we made the call on Monday, and then when I talked to them, they were great. The service that's coming over to our house tomorrow, pause into Grace. If anybody ever if you have to deal with this, they are the best. They're not paying for that shout out. It's just worth it. And they were like, okay, and what is your baby's name? And I was like, Daphne.
It's the worst, man.
I'll walk by and I'll see her dog bed this morning as I'm getting ready. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be empty tomorrow.
Yeah. Well,
God.
spend some good quality time. Would you say this if it's your grandfather? Just go hang out with them. You know,
buy him a Happy Meal.
Buy him a Happy Meal. Give him that chocolate.
Let him ride in the car one last time.
Stick that out the window.
You'll do that. You'll get them the treats, and they'll be so excited. You'll rethink, like, well, if I could just keep giving them, cheeseburgers
stuff to make them
for
happy.
A few more months, they're gonna stay. They're gonna last just for that. But
man,
you're doing the right thing, Paulie.
Saturated Fat says my dog stepped on my last dog and killed it. It sucked, but it was. Oh, my dad stepped on my last dog. It sucked, but it was free. I don't think Paulie's trying to get out of spending money here.
No.
Oh, man. Well, I love you. I'm sorry.
Right, Paulie.
It's the worst.
Sorry that you have to do
Have
that
a great
this
round of
weekend.
golf, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will. Absolutely. That's it for us. Braden's coming up next. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you Monday morning at 6 a.m. For Paulie and Woods. I'm Ben. Have a great rest of your Friday from all of us here at 97.3 The Fan. So long.